Prepare to be unnerved and chilled to your very core as we unveil spine-tingling scenes of unknown predators captured in the dark depths of pitch-black forests. These bone-chilling, enigmatic beasts lurk in the shadows and have left experts baffled and the bravest trembling. Join us as we will show you the most shocking and terrifying encounters ever caught on film.
Monster in the Woods. Some friends were having the time of their lives camping in the woods, having snacks and bonfire and movie night. But then one of the friends went somewhere and minutes passed, but she did not come back. While they were all worried, they had to go check on her. And as they ventured deep into the woods searching for the friend, at first they hear her scream. And then a strange creature comes into view. A spider-like being crawling terrifyingly towards them. What was that? Well, nobody knows.
Sleeping Beast. This scruffy beast was first seen crouched over a rocky peak in Arizona, but later it was seen resting near the woods. With its hair-covered face and faceless body, the creature certainly looked terrible. The limbs, which were bent or even partially chopped, contributed to its horrifying features. However, even though the rescue personnel were contacted right away and the shaggy figure was brought into jail for additional testing, the authorities provided no details on its whereabouts. What then was it? And from whence did it originate? Tell me what you think.
An alien. Who recorded this video? Who uploaded it on the internet? What exactly was this alien doing? Well, these are some of the questions which remain unanswered, and we're only left with this eerie clip, which looks like it belongs to some kind of secret alien interrogation thing. And if you ask me, I'd say from the view of it, the video looks as legit as anything can be. But do let us know what you guys think.
Mysterious chase on road. One night, a group of friends were driving along a deserted road when they noticed a bizarre figure sprinting towards them from the darkness. With hearts pounding, they sped away, the adrenaline coursing through their veins. The camera captured their terror-stricken reactions as the figure came uncomfortably close to their vehicle. Though the chase lasted only moments, it left a lasting impression on the friends, who were forever haunted by the enigmatic encounter. To this day, the unsettling footage continues to perplex viewers, begging the question of what mysterious entity roams the empty roads at night.
Crouching Bigfoot. Trying to find a perfect camping spot, this man came across the previous one of Bigfoot. Well, that's what he assumed, because who else would place the trees in such a disruptive manner? Some of them were strangely cut down and torn apart from their roots. Already doubting the mysterious jungle, the man decided to leave his camera there and see what happened. Luckily, he did capture the culprit behind it. Appearing just for some seconds, the wood beast made quite an entry. And not just once, as the trail camera also captured the mighty creature strangely crouching after midnight.
The Masked Man in the Woods. An eerie video was captured one night, revealing a man with a terrifying mask walking on his knees in the dark forest. The video quickly went viral, drawing massive public attention and leaving everyone puzzled about the man's intentions. The sight of the masked figure wandering alone through the woods raised many questions and fears. Why was he there? What was he doing? The channel owners themselves were baffled by the mysterious encounter. As speculation and theories abound, viewers are left to wonder about the unsettling presence of the masked man in the deep, dark woods. The haunting footage continues to intrigue and haunt the online community.
A woman stabbing herself. You won't believe what I just saw in this video. So it was late at night, and this guy was driving his usual route when he came across something super creepy. He was like, nope, I'm turning back and getting out of here. There was this ghostly woman in the middle of the road, holding a knife, and she was actually stabbing herself. Can you imagine? What would you do if you witnessed that?
An alien. This video is captured in an unknown location and shows a mysterious creature hiding behind a tree. As the camera approaches the tree, the creature briefly peers out from between the branches. Many have noted that it looks very much like an alien gray with a giant head, thin body, and large black eyes. Not much information is available about the clip, but it was likely filmed in a wooded area, maybe a forest or park. Could this creature actually be an alien from another world?
Monster shrieks. Standing in the middle of the forest in California, where this man thought he would encounter wild animals, he was surprised by some other thing, and definitely a scarier one. Standing at a high spot, he started hearing loud shrieks coming from a little far. Rotating his camera all over the forest, he failed to spot any animal or creature behind the weird noise. Then, who was it? And this time, not the loud shrieks, but a man's camera caught a Sasquatch-like creature strolling in the woods. Not detecting the camera, the creature could be seen passing right in front of it, probably going to look for another meal.
Unidentified creature in backyard. Late one night, YouTube user Vincent Studios heard strange and alarming noises emanating from his own backyard. Armed with a camera, he ventured into the darkness, unaware of the terror that awaited him. As he approached, a bizarre creature suddenly crashed against the door, sending shivers down his spine. With his flashlight trembling, he tried to capture the eerie presence lurking in the shadows. Was it an animal or something far more sinister? The unsettling encounter left viewers grappling with the unknown and questioning what else might be lurking just beyond their reach.
A pigeon stuck in time. You might have heard about unbelievable things happening, but sometimes nature makes it even more unbelievable to surprise us all. For instance, this pigeon. Not a usual one, but a pigeon stuck in time. And no, it wasn't sitting on a wire nor was stuck somewhere else. It was actually flying a second ago, and then this happened. The onlookers, as you may see, seemed pretty shocked too. Black creepy creature. Two farmers in Mexico were woken up in the middle of the night by their goats going crazy. They rushed outside to see what the commotion was about, and guess what? They found a weird black creature clinging onto one of their goats' necks. They tried everything to get it off, but it took a few minutes of struggling before it finally let go and scurried off into the woods. The farmers even tried to chase after it, but it vanished into thin air. Can you believe it? What do you think that strange creature could be, and where did it come from? The mystery remains unsolved.
Alien encounter in the woods. In the depths of Sydney's Royal National Park, a strange figure with an alien-like face appeared in a trail camera photo. The creature, standing around 1.2 meters tall, was riding a wild boar, its skinny body giving it an eerie, ghost-like appearance. Another trail camera located in the woods captured a similar creature, without the animal companion further fueling the mystery. The resemblance between the two photos suggests that this cryptid may indeed be real, lurking in the darkness and leaving us pondering the enigmatic wonders of the natural world.
Goat with one eye. Also known as Cyclopia, this one-eyed goat was born in a village in India. It has a big bulging eye in the middle of its forehead. Most goats with this kind of disorder die very young, but one of them lived for much longer than anyone had anticipated, and thus started to get international attention. When this little guy was born, it was said that he wouldn't live longer than a week, but well stronger than it looked, the goat survived more than a few weeks, hence gaining lots of attraction to itself. And the farmer in whose home it was born said he solely believes that the goat will bring him luck.
An alien hitchhiker. While going about his usual routine, this truck driver caught something super creepy on his dash cam. And if you watch the video at regular speed, you might miss it. But if you slow it down a bit, you'll spot a strange figure standing by the roadside. What the heck was that thing? Some folks are saying it's an extraterrestrial, but others are calling it a hoax. But even if it was staged, it's still enough to give you the heebie-jeebies. Don't you agree?
Rake, the Night Stalker. Once upon a moonlight night, a brave bunch stumbled upon the infamous Rake. This spooky creature was like something out of a horror flick. It roamed around in the darkness, watching and stalking its victims with eerie precision. They say it's active at night, and it loves to give folks the heebie-jeebies. With its long arms and shaggy fur, it was enough to give anyone goosebumps. Can you imagine being hunted by this spine-chilling entity? If you ever encounter the Rake, you'd better run for your life. Ghost-like figure. In this unsettling video on YouTube, a landowner's trail camera captured an unusual incident on December 19, 2022. The landowner, who owns vast forested land and enjoys hunting, had set up several cameras to record wildlife activity. However, this time, something bizarre was recorded. The footage shows a mysterious figure wearing a long white robe wandering through the bushes. It's unclear whether it's a human in a peculiar outfit or a supernatural entity. Though it appears to be a person, the question remains, why was the strange individual wandering in the woods seemingly lost?
A woman stabbing herself. This video is sure to send shivers down your spine. A person was driving late at night when they stumbled upon a chilling and bizarre sight. In the middle of the road was a ghostly woman with a knife in her hand, who appeared to be stabbing herself. The driver was so taken aback by the horror of the situation that they chose to turn back and quickly distance themselves from the ghostly figure. Imagine what you would have done if you were to come across this scene.
Masked figure. Okay, I'm not here to misguide you with this one, as it does look like a person. But isn't that creepy too? A trail cam capturing a man coming out of the woods in the middle of the night, and that too with a weird mask on his face, which at some angles does not feel like a mask, as it fits so well on the creeper's face. Advancing slowly and limping slightly, the freak walks towards the camera, and just when the camera would capture its whole figure, it disappears from the lens, which could be proof of the video being distorted. Or it could actually be a real weirdo living in the dark forest.
A weird woman. Here's a strange story about a woman in a white dress who was walking in the middle of the road at night. Her walk was so weird that anyone would feel creeped out by it. It's unclear whether she was a witch or just an old woman in need of help. We'll probably never find out.
Massive croc. Famous as the man-eating croc, this croc has been in the headlines for quite some time now, as it had killed 2 people in the African village near a national park. Not ready to lose more lives, the villagers decided to tie the deadly croc and send it over to the wildlife center. But they were surprised with the massive size of it, as it was a full 2-meter-long crocodile. Furious with the villagers tying it up, see how the beast fights with the strings, trying to free itself. But luckily, the wildlife workers arrived in time and took the killing croc to a better place, where it will stay away from innocent people.
A troll. You might know it is a mythical creature, but let us tell you, sometimes myths can be very real. All you need is the courage to go to places normally no one would, just like this man did. He went into a cave, and what he filmed there became something which shocked anyone who saw it. A giant troll was seen coming out of a deep, dark cave. Unfortunately, the video ends there, so we don't know what happened afterwards. Face-changing woman. Here's a super creepy video caught on a security camera. When it first went online, it blew everyone's minds. Not only do the woman's eyes glow, but she also undergoes some freaky face changing. We don't know who she is for sure, but this video will definitely give you the creeps every time you watch it.
Seizured lion. This might be a little depressing for some, but let me assure you that the lion was brought to the animal facility and was treated after this. Going on the safari, these people spotted a lion in the most unbelievable condition, as at first it started walking in circles, and when the onlookers thought the lion tripped, he fell to the ground and started shaking weirdly. And that's when they realized that the poor king of the jungle is actually not well, and that it's having a seizure. Passed out after the strong attack, the lion was then tranquilized and was brought to the hospital for much better treatment. Where several people don't believe in the alien creatures present in our world, there are more and more such creatures popping in front of the cameras to prove them wrong. And here, the camera caught the unbelievable moment when a mermaid was stranded near the riverbank. Spotting it and then quickly coming to pick it up, there are a few paramedics that can be seen taking the creature on a stretcher to somewhere no one knows. The long tail and the lifeless body could be seen from a distance. So, are mermaids real? Or was this just another prank that was being played on us? You be the judge.
A masked being. So there was this guy living in the middle of nowhere with a bunch of trees behind his house. Every day he kept hearing these freaky noises that he just couldn't explain. So he came up with a plan to get to the bottom of it. He set up a camera in his backyard and another one in the woods. And let me tell you, the footage he got was seriously spooky.
What is that?
My bad, man.
He caught this bizarre creature in his backyard that looked like it was wearing some kind of freaky mask. And in the woods, he caught another creature that was glowing like crazy. It was totally nuts. But even after all that, nobody knows what the heck those things actually were.
Shadow figure outside window. One sleepless night, a woman decided to film outside her bedroom window, hoping to capture the serenity of the night. Little did she know that the tranquility would be shattered by something far more unsettling. In the darkness, a shadowy figure darted from left to right, caught only by the faint glow of streetlights. Despite the chilling sight, the woman remained undeterred and continued filming, even as the figure vanished into the night. The mysterious sighting left viewers on edge and wondering if they too could spot unexplained phenomena just beyond their windows. When hiker meets Yeti. In January of 2021, two friends embarked on a thrilling 3-day hiking adventure, but they never imagined they'd encounter something scarier than the usual wild animals: a Yeti. The Yeti suddenly appeared out of nowhere, inspecting their backpacks while they were away gathering firewood. To their surprise, the Yeti accidentally pepper sprayed itself in the eyes, causing panic and aggression. The clumsy creature stumbled around, nearly falling on the hikers as it made its hasty retreat down the hilly terrain.
Hopping monster. Hopping like a monkey at first, the monster took advantage of the people's ignorance and swiftly covered most of the distance between them. Making its way towards them, the hungry beast was coming fast, but realizing that it had been spotted by the people, suddenly vanished behind the bushes. It gave the impression of being the least interested in them, as it planned to attack the people. But then, coming out again, this time a little furious, the beast tried to come straight at them and force them to run and save their lives.
A cute bite. I mean, let's be honest, for the bunny gang, this fight was probably a big deal. But if we as humans saw these two bunnies trying to throw punches while hopping around in perfect sync, it would be hard not to find it absolutely adorable. Of course, I'm not saying we should jump in and break it up. Who knows, we might end up with a bunny punch right in the face too, right?
Loch Ness Monster. The man who recorded this clip described the creature as looking like a dinosaur. But as it hit the internet, people couldn't help but wonder if it was the famous Loch Ness Monster. However, wildlife expert Ron McGill of Zoo Miami weighed in and suggested that the creature may just be a small whale surfacing. Still, nothing's for sure. There's always a chance that it can be the monster. You do let us know what you think, though.
Skinwalker's hands on tree. Exploring the woods with friends with no idea of the one waiting for him in the woods, this guy decided to go there at night. Returning safely, it was when they looked at the pictures, one of them noticed the eerie hand on the tree. And not just the hands, but an eerie face slightly sneaking from the tree, as if planning to attack the guys. Though the face is a bit blurry, it resembles the traditional skinwalker a lot, famous for disguising themselves to haunt and sometimes even hunt people.
A bear on rope. A cool video of a big black bear in Canada was captured by the Garrett Bros Outfitting YouTube channel back in 2013. The bear was determined to reach a hanging beaver that was out of its grasp, so it showed off its strength and athletic skills by climbing a tree and hanging from a rope. Despite its best efforts, the bear couldn't reach the beaver and ended up falling down. It gave up on its meal in the end.
Curious case of mysterious figure. In an undisclosed location, a trail camera captured a puzzling sight of a dark figure emerging from the shadows and walking across the frame. The owner of the camera was utterly astonished by the recording and decided to share it on social media, leaving Netzians intrigued and guessing its identity. For Bigfoot enthusiasts, the hairy creature wandering through the woods could only be the legendary Bigfoot. However, others speculated that it might be a massive ape or something equally enigmatic. As the owner continues to puzzle over this mysterious figure, people are left to wonder and speculate about the truth behind this captivating trail camera encounter. What do you think it could be? Let us know in the comment section below. Poltergeist activity in abandoned shop. April 17, 2010 was a night of terror for the old Phantom 13 team. Having faced repeated break-ins and vandalism at their shop, they decided to install security cameras to catch the miscreants red-handed. Little did they know that what they would capture on tape would transcend mere human mischief. The eerie video showcased unexplained phenomena, rattling lockers, objects moving on their own, and an unsettling presence that defied all rational explanation. The team was left questioning their own skepticism as the footage raised goosebumps on their viewers' arms. Was it a cleverly executed hoax, or had they inadvertently stumbled upon genuine paranormal activity?
A standoff. In this clip, we see a rare and intense standoff between a coyote and a bobcat captured by a man's trail camera. The footage shows the two animals facing off, with the coyote appearing to be on the defensive as the bobcat advances. Despite their similarities in size, the bobcat wins the standoff and the coyote eventually retreats. Bobcats and coyotes rarely fight because each knows the other is a formidable foe and there's much easier prey out there. The man who captured this footage is lucky to have seen some pretty cool stuff.
A monster in the desert. A video was uploaded on the internet in August of 2016, where a humanoid creature was seen walking in the Portuguese desert. According to some, it was a chupacabra, but for others, it was an alien. It was never seen or caught on camera again, so we don't know what it was. One weird thing about it was that the creature was moving towards the bush, and then it just vanished. Where did it go? No one knows. For those wondering, there is a desert in Portugal, and it is pretty big, so there's a big chance that this creature is real and is still out there waiting for someone to pass by and get a brand new footage of itself. Californian Coast Mermaid. In the video, we can see the mermaid swaying its tail in an impressive way. The tail movement confirms that it's a real mermaid and not a person wearing a mermaid tail, as no one can shake a fake tail that skillfully. The video is a bit blurry, but I believe it's genuine and not some edited nonsense people post on social media. There's plenty of evidence supporting the existence of this species, and I genuinely think they exist, but we humans still need to uncover their secret hiding spots.
A breathtaking wildlife moment. In this incredible video, we witness a breathtaking moment with a golden eagle perched on a cliff. Below, its sharp talons clutch its prey, a fox, which lies scattered on the ground. With a mighty display of strength, the majestic bird takes flight, carrying the fox away in its powerful grasp, disappearing. The golden eagle's skill is astounding, as it's known to take down animals much larger than foxes. In this case, the fox was already deceased, making the eagle's flight look effortless. It's a mesmerizing glimpse of nature's power and beauty.
Stuck in tree. These people, while taking a stroll in the woods, were shocked to see the miserable scene, as they spotted a fully grown moose strangely stuck between the two trees. Ascending quickly, thinking that there might be a chance to save the poor elk, they were disappointed to see that it had already expired. But what could be the reason that the elk had to end up like this? Well, it turned out that the huge animal was running at a speed of 40 miles per hour. Therefore, it could not determine the distance between the two trees and became the source of its own misery. And here, trapped in a tree, was nothing left of the buck other than its antlers, as the rest of the body had been eaten by wild animals. Ghostly spirits. Walking in the Stansted Forest across a small town in the UK, this man captured something creepy. as along the fog there were some ghostly spirits too that were floating in the air. Some of them looked like an old woman, others were of a child, and the rest were distorted, as nothing could be made out of them. According to the locals who live near the forest, these are the spirits of an old couple that accidentally came in front of the railway track nearby and were sadly killed. And ever since then, they have been haunting the people visiting the forest.
A brave mongoose. Prepare to be amazed by this wild encounter. So, a lion comes across a mongoose and decides to have some fun with it. The poor mongoose gets caught, but it refuses to give up. It keeps trying to escape, even though the lion is determined to keep it as a plaything. This back and forth goes on for minutes, and just when it seems like the mongoose is done for, the lion gets distracted by another lion. That's the mongoose's chance to make a break for it.
The watchful eyes. In the grasslands, a person found themselves in a peculiar situation as they spotted two shining orbs in the darkness. The orbs appeared to be observing their every move, causing a shiver to run down their spine. The question arose, were they encountering a mysterious creature or simply some mischievous pranksters? The grasslands became an intriguing realm of possibilities, leaving the person wondering about the identity of the glowing eyes. What do you think they were? Let us know in the comment section below.
A clown. This video was recorded in 2017 by a guy who was cycling in the woods. Now, the purpose behind this guy being there is unknown, but what he managed to capture is something way more interesting. A clown standing straight and emotionless in the middle of the woods. As the guy saw the clown at first, he tried going near him, but after a few seconds thought it was better to just get out of the place. The best decision, I say.
An alien-like creature. A very tiny and very weird creature was found on a street in Sydney. It looked like a mixture of a squid and an octopus. But being so away from water, no one knew what it was doing there. To some, it looked like some creature's embryo, but how did it end up there is a question which remains unanswered. Fighting pandas. In this video, two big pandas are fighting like crazy, and it's leaving us all shocked and confused. Normally, these gentle creatures are all about munching on bamboo, playing around, and doing cute somersaults. But it turns out, even pandas can get feisty sometimes. We don't really know why they suddenly got so aggressive.
Tripod deer. Trail cameras are usually used to capture amazing and unusual sights, but sometimes they also show us the struggles of animals in the wild. Take this heartwarming example of a brave tripod deer who was spotted with only 3 legs, missing most of her left foreleg below the knee joint. Despite her disability, she's been living a fulfilling life for over 4 years and even gave birth each year. It's believed that she might have lost her leg due to an injury when she was young. The image of this resilient deer reminds us of the strength and determination of wildlife in the face of challenges.
A strange monkey. Riding through the peaceful forest, a lone biker suddenly comes across a strange and mysterious creature. As a cyclist gets closer to a narrow trail surrounded by tall walls, a weird and otherworldly being jumps down from the wall and almost crashes into the biker. Surprised, the cyclist stops to look for the creature, but it has disappeared without a trace. Because of its strange look and incredible speed, it's hard to figure out exactly what this creature could be.
Mountain Sasquatch. Backpacking in the Marble Mountains of California, this family was left stunned when they came across the weirdly snapped trees. Observing them a little closely, these people were left surprised as there were no signs of axes cutting them down. Then, who did it? While they were on this subject, one of the guys spotted the giant walking down from a cliff. Though the video is a little blurry, the height and massive size of the Bigfoot can be seen clearly, as it was probably no less than 4 meters tall. Look at the trees looking so tiny in front of that eerie being.
A sleepy deer. Trail cams get footage at times which is not possible if a person with a camera is recording. For instance, where this buck was filmed being a sleepyhead. Even though this is just a few seconds long, according to the owner of the camera, the deer usually comes every day and lay down at the exact same spot to take a short nap. Maybe it's the area that he likes, or maybe it's the camera. I mean, who knows, right?
The world of the Slender Man. A mysterious picture of Slender Man has surfaced, captured by a trail camera deep in the forest. Slender Man, a fictional character designed to spook kids, has always been dismissed as imaginary. But this photo challenges that belief. Though no child kidnapping cases have been reported nearby, the image has sparked speculation about Slender Man's possible existence. The eerie figure sitting in the woods leaves us wondering if there's more to this legend than we thought. Have you ever been scared of the Slender Man? Share your thoughts on which trail camera encounter with the supernatural gave you the chills.
Headless Man. Chernobyl, being the disastrous place it is, revealed another animal to the face of the world. And this time, it was a headless moose. Yeah, an animal living and even running without a head. But how? Well, it's not known, as it quickly vanished among the trees. The moose made it hard for the people to determine the reason behind its mysterious appearance. Bigfoot or bear? Spotting it from a little distance, these people thought that they had caught a bear coming out of the woods, where they realized that not a bear nor a wild animal, but it was what they were least expecting, a Bigfoot, as it started walking on its forelegs. And not just walking, but the Bigfoot was actually running towards them, quickly coming out of the forest. Though they were able to save themselves, being captured only for a few seconds makes it a little hard to believe in the critter's existence. So, let me know your views.
A witch. Let's say you're returning home from a party, and while driving on a highway, you come across an old woman standing at the side of the road. She's facing you, and as soon as you stop the car, she starts walking towards you. You try reversing your car, and she's still walking towards you, in fact, faster than before. You try looking at her more closely, and now is actually running towards you in the creepiest way possible. Won't you have a mini heart attack right there? I mean, what exactly is an old woman dressed in all white standing in the middle of nowhere? What do you guys think?
The Catalonian Fallen Angel. In this eerie footage captured near Catalonia, Spain, a strange humanoid figure emerged, sending shivers down the spine of those who saw it. With its skeletal appearance and glowing eyes, it could be mistaken for a cryptid creature straight out of folklore. However, some believe it might be a human gone mad, seeking refuge in the wilderness. The encounter left the camera crew terrified, leading to a panicked retreat. As the being turned, observers noticed something protruding from its back, fueling speculations of it being the remnants of a fallen angel's wings.
A no-head camel. This camel has been caught on a video walking without its head. Now, this video has the whole world in shock. There are questions rising everywhere. How was that possible? How was it still alive? Is there something they're all hiding from us? But well, no need to panic or get too shocked, as the camel is not really headless. Instead, he has his neck and face turned around at such an angle that it looks like he has no head at all.
Oh, there he is.
The trail cam culprit. Ever wonder what the life of those trail cams is like? Being left all alone in the woods all day and night? Well, this video will give you just the glimpse as we see an intrigued baboon trying its best to steal the trail cam. But well, the camera was tied pretty well, because even when the baboon tried its best, it just couldn't get what it wanted.
Mermaid on the dock. Imagine there's a dock and out of nowhere a mermaid shows up. She looks all confused, swimming back and forth like she's trying to find her way to the water. But here's the strange part. There were people around, and they didn't do anything. I mean, come on, if I saw a mermaid, I'd be freaking out. You'd think someone would have called the authorities or something. Now, there's a big debate about whether this video is real or edited. Nobody really knows for sure. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments.
Strange wolf. First the goat, and now a wolf? Seriously, what's happening with these animals? caught in a security cam of the Armadillo Zoo. This monster had been making headlines due to its creepy walk. Though it did not harm any human and affect any animal of the zoo, with it only being spotted at the zoo's territory, that was what scared the people the most. And since then, they've been relating the creature with many mythical beasts. Some say it is the Wolfman, while others deny these myths. But with no clear explanation about the creature, let us know what you think of it.
A trail cam thief. So there's this coyote just strolling through the woods when it spots a trail camera nearby. Well, it seems like the camera caught its attention because it kept coming back trying to snatch it. After a few tries, it actually succeeded and bolted away with the camera as fast and as far as it could. The camera had quite an adventure with the coyote, getting all battered and scratched until its rightful owner found it.
A brave encounter. In a thrilling tale of courage and adventure, a 15-year-old boy set out on his bicycle to explore a trail road in the woods. Little did he know that this journey would lead to an unexpected encounter with a massive bear. As he was showing off some tricks on his bike, he heard noises from the forest and decided to investigate. To his surprise, he came face to face with the towering bear. The young boy knew he had to act fast and decided to raise his bicycle above his head, trying to appear bigger and scarier to the bear. With loud noises and bravery, he managed to scare off the bear, allowing him to escape the dangerous situation unharmed. It's a story of bravery and quick thinking in the face of the wild. Goblins in the woods. In these mysterious woods, a trail camera has captured something quite baffling, leaving us scratching our heads. Is it a giant creature or those sharp claws that have us spooked the most? Some are even speculating that it could be a goblin. Goblins have been part of folklore for centuries, with various tales emerging from different parts of the world. From mischievous to malicious, these mythical creatures are often associated with the natural world and dark places. Whether they exist in our world or the realm of fantasy, goblins continue to intrigue and trouble our imaginations. Perhaps this park ranger has stumbled upon one, or maybe more goblins are hiding deep in the woods, waiting for us to uncover their secrets.
Deer Demon. Well, it feels to me that the deer and the demon have a past connection. If not, then how would you explain these creepy incidents? This picture shows a deer standing and facing the camera, but there's some other thing looking at the camera, or might be at the deer too. A shadowy figure, which appears to have no arms and no figure as well. And due to this, there could be a chance of the figure being a hoax or a reflection from the lake that is distorted by the trail camera's poor quality. While the previous one could be a hoax, this one is quite convincing, as it does not show any man-made costume figure, but just a bright light that might have fox ears, and it's standing right over the camera.
Japanese Ghost Playground. Japan, known for its eerie ghost stories, provided another spine-chilling tale in this 2008 video. Two people ventured out to a playground late at night, perhaps seeking adventure or excitement. However, their playful mood was shattered when they heard strange knocking sounds echoing through the night. Attempting to investigate, they discovered something far more unsettling, an unexplained presence lurking in the darkness. As they pointed their camera towards it, they found themselves in the midst of an otherworldly encounter. Leaving viewers to ponder the spirits that might still inhabit those empty playgrounds.
Mysterious being. These two guys were out in the woods late at night. They thought it was a good idea to have some fireworks where no one will get disturbed. However, what they did not know is that someone will get disturbed, and it won't be good for them. As they were doing their thing, shrieks could be heard, and then they decided to go investigate it. And that's when we see the weirdest being possible shrieking and following the men.
Is it still there?
Go! No! Run!
They did make it out alive. That was one hell of a close call.
Bigfoot versus bear. Once upon a time, a hunter aimed his rifle and shot Bigfoot right in the shoulder. Can you believe it? But that's not all. There's more. Bigfoot went head-to-head with a bear. It was like a cryptid battle royal. The footage is so jaw-dropping, you won't know if it's real or just a movie stunt. Bigfoot flexed those massive muscles, and the bear roared with fury. It was a clash of the titans, and you'd think they were starring in a Hollywood blockbuster. The camera captured Bigfoot's fierce face, his elongated head like an ape, and his razor-sharp claws.
A weird creature washed ashore. The remains of a mysterious creature have been found washed up on a beach at the Wolf Island National Wildlife Refuge in southeast Georgia. The discovery has sparked curiosity and speculation among the local community, with many people wondering what the creature could be. Despite initial efforts to identify the creature, its origin and species remain unknown. Some speculate that it could be an undiscovered species or an unusual variation of a known animal, while others believe that it could be the result of some kind of genetic mutation or hybridization. Regardless of the cause, the discovery of this strange creature has raised many questions, and it is unclear if we'll ever get a clear answer. A human-faced goat. The video features a goat with a unique appearance. It has a face that closely resembles that of a human. This goat was born in India and has caused a sensation in the local community due to its unusual appearance. People are curious to learn more about the goat and its origins, and many are speculating on what could have caused its unusual appearance. Some believe it could be the result of genetic mutations, while others think it could be due to a rare genetic condition. What do you guys think about it?
A Yeti. A strange video filmed on a Canadian mountain has left people scratching their heads. The footage shows a massive creature that left the videographer stunned. The next day, when he returned to film again, the creature was nowhere to be seen. After posting the video, many people had different ideas about what the creature could be, ranging from a Nephilim or Yeti to a secret military experiment. Let us know what you guys think. A monster in the dark. Now, you might find this one a little blurry, but that does not make the creature this man happened to capture any less terrifying. At first, he thought it was a very large buck or something, but things got creepy when it started moving and coming closer. It looked more like a human, but a huge one. A mama wolf. Now, this camera was installed in a wolf's den to see and keep track of what the mama wolf and her cubs were up to all the time. And this is how this mama was recording, trying to have some me time without her annoying kids ruining it. She left them out and came back to rest, but no, the kids won't leave her alone. They came back to annoy the hell out of their mother, leaving her angry and frustrated. I guess kids are all the same, no matter if they're humans or animals.
An unbelievable deer story. On Monrovia, a deer with an arrow lodged in its neck amazed everyone with its incredible resilience. Despite the brutal injury, this tough buck remained surprisingly healthy. The animal's plight made headlines as rescue workers tried tirelessly to help, but the deer proved elusive, avoiding capture at every turn. However, after several efforts, they finally managed to tranquilize the deer and put an end to its suffering. The internet was abuzz with another picture of the deer, showing it leaping high in the air despite the arrow still stuck in its side. This remarkable deer's survival story left people in awe of nature's strength and the will to survive against all odds.
Weird creature. In January 2013, a man reviewing footage from a trail camera left in the woods for several days made a disturbing discovery. He described the figure captured in the footage as an alien, although others speculate it may be a ghost or an unidentified creature. Initially, the figure appeared to be a distorted bush or an animal, but upon closer inspection, its unnaturally smooth movements and direct stare at the camera indicated that it was something abnormal. The figure resembled a woman, but with disproportionately large, flashing eyes and flowing hair. What do you guys think it was?
The falling tree. On a dark night, a trucker faced a terrifying encounter, a tree falling right in front of his dead headlights. Lightning reflexes saved the day, as he skillfully swerved to avoid disaster. The heart-stopping moment left him pondering the dangers that lurked on the roads. Mother Nature's pranks were no joke, and he vowed to stay vigilant. Each drive held unpredictable surprises, and he would face them with caution and bravery. The harrowing experience became a lasting reminder to approach each turn with utmost care. Braving the open road meant being prepared for the unexpected, a lesson etched in his memory forever.
A snake. Alright, so in this video, we've got this guy who decides to take a picture in the woods. He sets up the camera and steps back to get the perfect shot. Little did he know, while he's crouching down for the pic, a sneaky snake drops down from above and scares the living daylights out of him. In a panic, he chucks the snake away and runs for his dear life. A three-horned cow. Something which was as real as it looked and left the netizens with no chance to think it was fake was a three-horned cow. This cow belongs to the Ankoli cow breed. The breed is famous for having 3 giant horns, which makes them different from all others. But this one cow had a plan of being more unique than anyone else. Thus, it produced another big horn along with the usual 2. And just like it planned, the cow grabbed quite a few eyeballs with its 3rd horn. For those who are thinking about its health, don't worry, the cow is all fine with nothing to worry about.
Mysterious happenings in the Seattle woods. Residents living near the dark forest in Seattle started hearing strange noises at night, sparking curiosity and concern. Venturing into the woods to investigate, they were in for a surprise. They managed to capture a cryptid on camera, a creature known as the Brute. This tall, enigmatic being was seen strolling through the woods, taking massive steps before swiftly running away upon realizing it was being observed. Though it vanished quickly, the footprints it left in the snowfield intrigued Bigfoot enthusiasts, fueling their desire to explore the area further and uncover more evidence of this elusive creature.
Horrid creature. Never failing to terrorize people, hiking or even a visit to the dense woods always brings the creepy creature living inside it. And this time, not the Bigfoot, but the man who decided to chase the mythical beast along the forest. Breathing heavily out of fear and tiredness of the long walk, he still does not stop and continues his journey to learn more about it. But never ready to reveal himself, the Sasquatch could be seen running along the trail, and sometimes even hiding behind the trees to somehow escape the man. But why? Why is the beast so afraid of that man? Is it really as scary as we assume? Or could it be the other way around?
A werewolf. The werewolf is a mythical creature that is part of folklore and popular culture, but it is not recognized as a real species by the scientific community. But after watching this video, even the scientists were shocked. This werewolf-like creature was found in Pakistan and appeared to be quite alive when being filmed. The source of the video remained unknown, thus it couldn't be confirmed if it's real or fake. You guys let us know if there's any info we are missing here.
Deer with an arrow. A lone buck in the wild is never out of misery. Caught twice in the Monrovian woods but never captured by rescue workers. This deer is famous because of its incredible survival story, as it's living with an arrow lodged in its neck. After many failed attempts of the rescue workers to pull the arrow out, the buck kept jumping fences and running away from them. They were finally able to tranquilize the animal and pull the arrow out of his neck after days of struggle. Here, another buck was caught with its antlers stuck with a basketball inside them, which too was rescued by the workers.
The Island of Creepy Dolls. Imagine stumbling upon a place filled with grimy, abandoned dolls that give you the chills no matter the situation. Creepy dolls hanging around for no apparent reason are enough to send shivers down anyone's spine. There have been countless horror tales about dolls to fuel our imaginations. But what's even more terrifying is an entire island filled with these eerie figures. Locals say there's a strange order to their placement, hinting at a hidden code. The island's tragic past adds to the mystery, as it was once home to a successful mine until a tragic event occurred. Some believe the dolls are a haunting reminder of the children who suffered there. When visiting, locals say prayers to keep any vengeful spirits at bay.
A huge black cat. In this video, which went viral, a Mississippi man named David Sluter captured footage of what appeared to be a massive black cat walking through a field. After initially thinking it was a deer or coyote, he realized it was some type of cat and started filming. David was over 100 yards away, but from the cat's tail, he could tell it was massive. Some experts have dismissed the cat as an overgrown house cat, while others believe it's a more dangerous mountain lion. Regardless, everyone is currently on the lookout for the mysterious feline.
Animals reacting to reflections. There was a French photographer who decided to set up a camera and a big mirror in the middle of the jungle. He wanted to see how the animals would react to their own reflections. And guess what? It turned out way crazier than he expected. The leopard couldn't get enough of itself. The gorilla saw it as a chance to have a fight with its own reflection. And the elephant didn't really care much. But the chimpanzees, oh boy, they had a blast checking themselves out while scratching. Witch in a graveyard. While exploring a graveyard in Hungary, a guy who was researching ghosts and unusual artifacts came across a spooky encounter. He stumbled upon necklaces made from human teeth and an abandoned graveyard. To his surprise, he discovered a goth-looking woman, possibly a witch, hiding in the area. Instead of running away, he shouted at her, causing her to gather her things and flee. The guy tried to chase after her into the forest, but suddenly fell to the ground as if something was holding his feet down.
A vampire deer. This trail cam footage shows a deer peacefully grazing on the ground. But if you think this is just a normal deer and nothing special, then let us tell you that it's no ordinary deer. This is a vampire deer, which are usually found in China and Korea. What's really interesting about them is their teeth, which are huge and tusk-like. They're pretty small, usually weighing between 33 and 65 pounds and standing only 2 to 3 feet tall. They like to hang out near water sources and wetlands and grasslands and are most active during the early morning and late afternoon.
The crawling creature. In this short and blurry video, a strange creature is seen crawling on the ground in broad daylight. It's quite unbelievable if you don't see it for yourself. The kids who recorded this were wise enough to keep a safe distance from it. Some believe that this creature could be a skinwalker, a mythical being from Native American folklore, known for its ability to transform into different animals. It's a mysterious and eerie sight, leaving viewers with many questions and theories. If you have any thoughts on what this creature might be, please feel free to share them in the comment section below. Encounter with drug cartel. Mike Thistle's dashcam captured a chilling scene as he traversed a remote area in Mexico. The road appeared desolate, but as he drove past, he noticed several armed men lurking by the side of the road, linked to a notorious drug cartel. A sense of danger washed over Mike, prompting him to act swiftly. He deftly documented the alarming encounter on his dashcam and, without hesitation, informed the authorities about the suspicious activity. His vigilance and quick actions helped him evade a potentially life-threatening situation and underscored the critical importance of staying vigilant on the road.
Biped goat. Though not of a trail cam capture, this is a video worth watching. A resident of China's small town was shocked when he observed his goat behaving mysteriously. At first, walking like a usual one, the goat suddenly stood on its hind legs and started walking. And seeing the footage, it does not look like the goat is doing it for the first time, as she's quite a pro in this. But why is she walking this way? Is something seriously wrong with the goat? Or perhaps is this a random prank she's playing on us? Let me know what you think of this eerie goat.
Dancing bear. When a wildlife channel placed cameras in the jungle, their goal was to capture footage of animals being themselves. What they didn't expect was to witness bears shaking their behinds and moving like Shakira in the woods. Just like us humans, bears get itchy sometimes. But unlike us, they scratch their backs on trees, and they absolutely love doing it. I mean, look at them.
A real Dobby. In this video, we come across a mysterious creature that strongly resembles Dobby, the beloved character from Harry Potter. It's quite exciting to think about the possibility of a hidden world of magic existing somewhere beyond our human understanding. The creature's bizarre movements, similar to a chicken dance, and thin legs make it evident that this is no ordinary human. While it's fun to entertain the idea of magical beings living among us, it's essential to remember that such sightings could be the result of various factors, like optical illusions or creative hoaxes. Late Night Bear Snack. In this video, a bear tries to snack on chickens and gets spooked by the owner's shouts. One night, a bear decided to pay a visit to a chicken coop, hoping for a tasty treat. It tried to get in, but the door held strong. Undeterred, the hungry bear attempted to munch on the door itself. Little did it know that the owner, Haley, had woken up to the condition. Startled, she bravely shouted at the bear from a safe distance, scaring it away. The bear fled into the night, leaving the chickens unharmed. Haley's quick thinking and courageous response saved her feathery friends and kept the bear at bay. A wild adventure in the wee hours.
2 babies. So there's this cute bear cub named Boog, and guess what he finds in his living room? A baby deer is just chilling there. At first, Boog is kinda careful, slowly approaching the little deer. But the deer is like, nah, I'm not interested, and ignores Boog's attempts to be buddies. But you know what? Boog doesn't give up. He's patient and keeps trying until he finally wins her over. And then they have this adorable little encounter. Who says animals can't be friends, right?
Terrifying ritual in woods. In the depths of Vancouver, a wildlife enthusiast sets up a trail camera, hoping to capture some critters. Instead, they record pure nightmare fuel. 2 women covered in black hair feast on a deer's carcass. Are they witches, or are we dealing with something even darker? Walking demons? And who's that mysterious man lurking nearby? The images raise more questions than answers. And we're left haunted by the eerie possibilities.
A dead dragon. Reports of a dead dragon found in Mexico in 2020 have circulated online. However, the validity of these claims is uncertain. In fact, not just reports, there's this video on the internet as evidence too. While it is possible that reports could be a hoax or misinformation, it is also possible that there may be some truth to the claims. However, without further investigation and evidence, it is difficult to determine the accuracy of the clip and all the rumors. For now, it is all a mystery. An eyeless monster. If there's one place in the world you would expect to find an alien-esque monster of the deep, it's Australia. And yes, that is exactly where this no-eyed fish monster was caught. Even though the size was small, the fish looked like something straight out of a horror movie. This 15-centimeter long worm-like fish was said to be related to worm gobbies. Because worm gobbies tend to live their entire lives under the mud, humans rarely come across them. So there's a chance that it might be a new species.
A unicorn elk. An unusual elk with an antler protruding from its forehead was spotted on a trail cam in Tampico. Yes, just like the unicorns do. According to the owner of the camera, the antler did not appear to be causing harm, but it may hinder the elk's ability to feed. However, the elk does appear to be in good shape.
Stalking creature. Reaching the top of the hiking mountain, these hikers had no idea that they had another companion. Recording the incredible views, one of the girls could be heard asking the other about the creep in the woods.
My God, that's crazy.
And there it is, a humanoid brute. Though standing on the other side, he has his eyes on the hikers. Not blinking for a second and taking his eyes away from the group. It feels like the cryptid is planning a strike. But disappointedly, there could be a possibility of the video being edited. And if not, what could this creature be?
A trespassing bear. In this funny incident, a bear trespassed onto someone's property at night. and tried to snack on some chickens. It attempted to break into the chicken coop, but got startled by a strange voice and decided to run away as fast as possible. Turns out, the owner, Haley, woke up in the middle of the night and shouted at the bear from a window to scare it off.
Hanged animals. A coyote and a raccoon were found on a tree in the most unexpected way. We all know that these two share the relation of prey and predator, but caught in the West Virginian forest, this picture shows a different prospect, as a raccoon could be seen pinned down to the tree. And while we come a little down, there's a coyote with his head hanging down from the tree and one of the forepaws badly trapped in the crook of the tree. It is no doubt one of the most heartbreaking moments of nature. But clearly, no meal is free in the world, and sometimes these animals have to pay the price with their lives. Eagle picks osprey. Setting up a camera over the osprey's nest to see the hatchlings take their first flight, the camera caught the opposite. A little depressing, I suppose, but that's just how wildlife works. Two baby ospreys could be seen sitting on their nest until a bald eagle swoops right into the nest, grabs both the hatchlings under its mighty claws, and off she goes. And not just once, but the eagle was captured many times attacking the osprey's nest. See here, just when the mother leaves the nest, probably going to look for a meal, the bald eagle comes taking advantage, flies towards the poor osprey sitting on the edge, and then, well, there's no need to tell you what happens after that. Strange figure. In the dark, dense forest, setting up a camera and thinking that it might capture different animals, this man was shocked to see what his camera had captured for him, as it was a bright, humanoid figure. Though standing at a little distance, it was making his creepy features visible, standing still as if in a trance. But is it just me, or you guys can see it too, that the creature at some point kind of resembled the mythical creature Hippocentaur that is believed to have the upper body of a human and the lower half of a horse, which represents barbarism and unbridled chaos? If not, then let me know what you think of this creepy figure.
Ghost cat. During one spooky night, a security camera caught something peculiar. A ghostly cat strolling across a front porch. It was like Casper's long-lost cousin. The see-through feline seemed to vanish into thin air as it crossed the porch, leaving everyone baffled. Was it a ghostly apparition or just a camera glitch? Either way, it was a perfectly good encounter. That'll leave you with goosebumps.
A creature in the yard. Two friends were recording in their yard late at night when they spotted a strange and frightening creature. The humanoid figure stood in their yard for a few minutes, observing them or perhaps searching for a way inside. Despite the creature's intimidating presence, the friends stayed put and kept recording. Suddenly, the creature disappeared into the darkness, leaving the friends to think it was gone for good. However, to their horror, the creature returned after a minute, approaching them a little closer before finally leaving for good. The experience left the friends terrified, and they couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. They shared the footage of the mysterious creature in the hopes of finding answers and discovering what it was. A weird creature. This clip shows a weird gray creature which appears to be trying to run away from the cameraman. It keeps looking towards the camera while getting away to see if it was still following him. If we look at the place, it looks weird with a knife, some detergent and slippers lying around all covered in mud. But don't be spooked by the appearance of the creature. It is actually a hairless monkey with some kind of genetic disease which caused him to lose all of his hair.
A mischievous sheep. Have you ever gone fishing and felt like you were completely at one with nature? Well, that's exactly what this fisherman felt. As he was peacefully catching fish by the water, a sheep lurking behind him had other plans. The sheep hit the poor fisherman so hard in the back that he fell straight into the water. And to add insult to injury, the sheep was all ready for round 2. Moral of the story, you never know what kind of trouble might be lurking behind you, even when you're just trying to enjoy a peaceful fishing trip.
Coyote versus deer, a thrilling chase. In an adrenaline-pumping trail cam recording, a wily coyote targeted a deer, initiating a high-stakes chase through the dense forest. The coyote's agile pursuit of the deer left viewers on the edge of their seats, witnessing the raw essence of predator-prey dynamics in action. As the nimble deer zigzagged through the undergrowth, its quick thinking and evasive maneuvers impressed those witnessing the breathtaking chase. Ultimately, the deer managed to escape. Mysterious car passenger. Late at night, a driver witnessed a bizarre scene on the back of a moving car. A woman sitting without any support speeding really fast. Who needs seatbelts, right? The unsettling sight became even scarier when the woman aggressively tried to open the car door. What led to this bizarre situation? The video left viewers with more questions than answers. It was like watching a suspenseful thriller unfold right before their eyes. What was the story behind this mysterious woman? And what was her intent?
A scary-looking thing. About this video, everyone has their own opinions. Some say it's just a gorilla, while others say it's a weird crawling creature, and to some it also looks like a spider. However, no matter what the being is, the way it slowly moves towards the camera, freaking out the man recording it,
What the fuck is that? Okay.
looks like something straight out of a horror movie.
A mysterious sea creature. Just like many strange creatures on our list, this one is also from the land of strange Australia. This sea creature was described as having human-like lips and skin like a shark's skin. It was washed ashore on Bondi Beach in Sydney, Australia, and the man who took the video believes it could be a decomposing coffin ray. Although with most of the ocean being unexplored, there is quite a big chance that it is a newly discovered species, and to me, it doesn't look like anything I've ever seen before. A glitch in the Matrix. A person recently managed to record a clip of a plane stuck mid-air on camera. It seems like the airplane has stopped moving due to a simulation glitch and is just floating in the sky. The bizarre footage originally surfaced on TikTok, but gradually spread across various social media platforms. Though this is not the first time that such a phenomenon has been caught on camera and has baffled netizens. Such glitches have happened before and have always shocked the onlookers. A bouncing manhole. What are your first thoughts when you see the video? Is it a ghost, a scary clown, or an air bubble? To me, it looked like something out of a scary movie. You try going near and someone will pull you inside. But according to the man who recorded it, an air bubble is likely to blame, because manholes can sometimes make noise or move around when sometimes the water is pushed around and the air moves. Dirt bath. Who says birds don't need a spa day? These sparrows are taking their grooming routine to a whole new level in the woods. They're into this thing called dirt bathing. Basically, they cover themselves in dirt to keep their feathers healthy and prevent too much oil buildup. It's quite a sight to see these birds dipping themselves in the dirt, rolling around and flapping their wings to make sure every feather gets coated. They're pretty hygienic for little creatures, don't you think?
Leopard backflips. Living in the wild is hard, but it's even harder if you've got an apex predator coming to catch you. See how this monkey is trying to ditch the leopard, jumping over the tree from one side to the other. Doesn't know how it ends as the video cuts there. But I really hope that the monkey was able to escape his preceding death. But one thing is for sure, that it does not always end with the monkey winning over the leopards, as sometimes it can do a backflip and will come with the catch in his claws. And here, look how it takes a massive leap to catch that poor monkey. Deer with an arrow. A lone buck in the wild is never out of misery. Caught twice in the Monrovian woods but never captured by rescue workers. This deer is famous because of its incredible survival story, as it's living with an arrow lodged in its neck. After many failed attempts of the rescue workers to pull the arrow out, the buck kept jumping fences and running away from them. They were finally able to tranquilize the animal and pull the arrow out of his neck after days of struggle. Here, another buck was caught with its antlers stuck with a basketball inside them, which too was rescued by the workers.
Plane emergency landing on road. A harrowing incident in San Diego, California, captured on dash cams, shows a small plane losing control and performing an emergency landing on a road. After colliding with a sign, the plane continues to another intersection where it crashes into an SUV. Despite the wreckage, Both pilots and the SUV driver miraculously escape with non-life-threatening injuries. The pilot's remarkable skills during the landing prevented a more disastrous outcome, and their quick thinking saved lives.
Real mermaid found swimming. Check out this cool video of a mermaid swimming underwater. It looks so real. The mermaid's tail is super thin and lifelike, and it's swimming way faster than any human could. The other sea creatures around it seem totally chill, like they see mermaids all the time. If it was a person, those fish would be freaking out.
Bear attacks wild piglet. Caught in the Tejon Ranch Conservancy, the camera shows a wild hunt, as a bear can be seen running after a wild piglet. And just when he was about to lose his catch, the bear took a leap towards his success, as he was able to catch the piglet this time. Clamping it under his massive jaw, the bear takes it out of sight. But don't we all know what happened to the poor piglet? This bear clearly doesn't like to be in the spotlight. See how he furiously pounced towards the camera. And then, disappointed as nothing could be done, he goes back into the wild. Hungry bear. Hats off to this guy's courage for staying so calm, even with the grizzly bear standing right beside him. Sitting on a tree stand, this hunter thought that he was at a considerable distance with the animals to avoid any encounter, but was soon proved wrong. When a bear spotted the man sitting on the stand from down on the ground, it climbed the tree and came right towards him, and then standing there for a couple of minutes, sniffing the hunter and taking a look at the incredible view, it slides down to the ground.
The not-so-friendly hitchhikers. It was a dark night in France, and a trucker's dash cam captured a heart-stopping scene. The truck in front suddenly slammed on the brakes, and out of the shadows emerged men with flashlights, hurling rocks and using tree branches as roadblocks. These were no ordinary hitchhikers. They were desperate migrants trying to smuggle themselves into the UK. The brave trucker kept on driving, knowing that stopping could spell danger. Such chilling encounters have been reported frequently in the area, giving this tale an air of lingering mystery and menace. Clown prank gone wrong. During the creepy clown sightings, a dash cam recorded a police response to reports of clowns harassing civilians in Menasha, Wisconsin. The chilling footage showed the bizarre scene of two clowns being questioned by an officer. The unsettling encounter took a dark turn when it was discovered that the clowns were actually a husband and wife who left their 4-year-old home alone for this creepy prank. The shocking reality behind the clown sighting raised concerns about child neglect and the absurd lengths some people go for a twisted sense of humor. It was a prank gone terribly wrong, with serious consequences.
Hiding predator. Catching a deer off guard and still not attacking it? Is that really a predator lurking in the dark? Setting up his trail camera, this man did not have any idea that it would capture a failed ambush attack. At first, a deer appeared right in front of the camera and sat there to relax. Dozing there for some time, just when it changes its position and goes a little out of the camera's sight, two illuminated eyes appear behind him and started moving on the side. Realizing that he had been watched, even though sleeping, he quickly stood up and scared the predator. Deer approaches hunter. Either this deer has seen something he was not prepared for, or there's some massive animal coming to attack him. While hunting in the Kruger National Park, this hunter was aiming at wild deer, but was surprised to see this strange behavior, because just when he pulled down the weapon, the deer came running at him. Standing beside him, even when the man pets the terrified deer, it keeps looking back, as if there was a deadly creature waiting for her there. And even when the video reached the examiners, they revealed the deers exhibit such behavior when they're either terrified or are actually seeking help.
Spooky trail camera discoveries. A family that recently moved to a new region set up a trail camera near their home to monitor their kids and observe wildlife. To their surprise, in August of 2020, the camera captured a strange humanoid-shaped figure with long, unkempt hair. Speculations arose about whether it could be a Yeti or Bigfoot. The authorities were notified, and numerous experts examined the footage, with some claiming it to be authentic. In another eerie incident, a trail camera in Canada's dense forest caught a massive hand with hairy arms trying to grab the camera from behind. People suggested it might be a Sasquatch or a werewolf.
A visitor. Imagine you're at home, catching some me time or just enjoying some alone time when you glance over and see an alien's head staring straight at you through the window. I mean, that'd freak anyone out, right? Luckily for us, a guy with a camera in his home caught the whole thing on video. It's easily one of the spookiest and clearest sightings of an alien ever caught on camera.
Gate of Hell. Also known as the Devarza gas crater, this place is termed as the Gate of the Underworld. But what actually happened here is a very interesting story. This natural gas field collapsed into a cavern, and a few decades back, the Soviets lit it on fire, thinking it would burn off the methane gas in a day or two. But well, this was not how it worked, and here we are, a decade later, it is still burning. And yes, it is a sight to behold, no matter if you go there during the day or night. But still, it's better at night. Really looks like the gates to hell. A Tasmanian tiger. Guess what? There's this mysterious footage that's causing a big debate online. It's from a trail camera, and for a few seconds, you can see this blurry creature that some people think could be the Tasmanian tiger, a species believed to be extinct. Since the video quality isn't great and it's nighttime, we can't be sure if it's legit.
Another mysterious masked man. When we think of eerie trail camera clips, we usually imagine ghostly figures. But not all creepy characters are supernatural. A hunter set up a trail camera to monitor wildlife near his property and got a surprising picture of a strangely tall man wearing a mask and holding a machete. The man seemed unaware of the camera's presence, and his intentions remain unknown. The fact that he covered his face suggests he might not have had innocent intentions. After this mysterious encounter, the man was never seen in the area again, leaving us to wonder what he was doing in the woods that night. It's a real-life mystery that gives us chills.
A curious deer. They say the only thing stronger than fear is curiosity. And this little guy here is going to prove it right, because when the hunter was all set looking for some delicious deer to hunt, one of the deer wondered, I should go and check what that human's doing over there. And it came as close to death as anyone can. But good for him, the hunter decided to let him go that day.
Kidnapping in South Carolina. On an eerie February evening, South Carolina Highway Patrol officers were on the lookout for an alleged kidnapping suspect in an old green Cadillac. Their search led them to a rest stop, where they discovered the suspect's vehicle. The dashcam footage showed a trooper carefully opening the trunk of the car, revealing a terrified woman inside.
Ma'am, you okay?
Shockingly, she was the suspect's own mother. The heart-wrenching discovery left viewers questioning the motive behind such a horrifying act. The unsettling truth behind this tragic event remains a mystery to this day.
The subscriber's pick. This image shows us a weird, long, whitish creature in the woods. Doesn't it look really, really scary? Well, if you're thinking this might be real, let us assure you it isn't. The image belongs to a very famous horror artist named Trevor Henderson, and along with this one, he's made a couple of other creatures too, including the famous Siren Head, the cartoon cat, the bridge worm, the wandering faith, and many more. But who knows? There's always a chance that some of them can be real.
Scary cougar encounter. During a lone hike in Provo, Utah, a hiker thought he spotted a baby bobcat on the trail ahead and started recording with his phone. But to his surprise, it was a young cougar, and its mother was nearby. As he tried to back away, the cougar got more aggressive and started approaching him. In a tense standoff, the cougar even lunged at the hiker, coming within a feet of him. The hiker bravely stood his ground, making loud noises to scare the cougar away. After a nerve-wracking 6-minute encounter, the hiker finally threw a rock, scaring the cougar enough to make it flee.
A squealing creature. A group of friends were out in the woods, planning for some fireworks and enjoying the night out there. But what they did not know was that there was someone waiting for them. When one of them set off a firework, it created a screeching noise. And that is when the creature lurking around got disturbed and decided to go check on what was happening. At first, the guys heard its voice, like it was warning them. And then they followed the voice and came very near to the creature. It did not like him and had to literally chase the humans out of its area. So, well, what do we learn from this entry? That we should not go towards danger. You need to run away from it!
A creepy kid. If you think you're safe from the weird beings if you're at your home, then you're wrong. They follow you everywhere you go. For instance, take a look at this clip. This man thought he lived alone until a kid appeared from behind the TV, peeking from behind. The man had to go check, and that's when things got weird, because the kid completely vanishes when the man reaches there.
Alligator strolling. This trail camera captures an alligator casually strolling through the heart of a forest. While these reptiles are typically found in swamps and water bodies, this confident alligator seems to have ventured far from its natural habitat, moving with a clear sense of purpose. The footage reveals its agile movement over fallen branches, leaving viewers wondering what motivated this extraordinary journey. A green-furred snake. Today, you're gonna witness a snake like no other. Shared on the Facebook group Weird, Fantastic, and Odd Things by user Max Jack, this mind-boggling footage showcases a snake covered in eerie green fur, leaving us all baffled and slightly creeped out. Residing in Thailand, Max Jack came across this enigmatic serpent and decided to care for it, sparking curiosity and speculation across the internet. Some suggest it could be a bizarre form of algae coating its skin, but the mystery remains unsolved. Max Jack's decision to hand it over to authorities for study and identification will surely unveil more about this cryptic creature. Heartfelt wolf mother. Deep in the wild, a heartwarming moment unfolded before a trail camera. A mother wolf, sensing danger, realized her pups were in threat due to rising water levels around the den. She sprang into action, pulling each pup out of harm's way, showing the world the fierce love of a mother. In the snowy landscape, the touching display of maternal instincts moved all who witnessed it. It was a testament to the unbreakable bond shared by mothers across the animal kingdom.
A slimy thing. A man happened to capture this slimy thing when it was on his way somewhere, and since it wasn't like anything he'd seen before, he decided to capture it on camera. It doesn't appear to have any eyes, but a head-like thing which moves a little bit. It looks something like what a blob would look like. So is it some new species? And if it is, then I'd rather stay away from this slimy thing. Anaconda. Ever wondered how large anacondas are? What's the maximum limit they can go to? Well, they can easily go to 30 feet, and this anaconda right here can give you an idea of how dangerous these beings can be. The tree can't even hold its weight, and it comes down as this snake tries slithering its way up on it. Watching this, I'm really glad Titanoboas are long gone, or God knows what might have happened.
Paranormal encounter. Stepping into the ethereal world of mysterious glowing orbs, an enigmatic phenomenon often associated with the supernatural. Legends speak of these orbs as ethereal manifestations of spirits, ghosts, or even fairies, hovering in places they deem safe. Venture deep into the Tennessee woods through a trail cam image that captured these haunting lights. Was it a brush with otherworldly entities or a mere trick of the camera flash? The image sparked debates within the paranormal community, with some advocating for the possibility of genuine paranormal activity, while others lean towards logical explanations like shutter speed or external light sources. Hyena chasing wildebeest. In the vast savanna, a pack of hyenas pursued a herd of wildebeest. One wildebeest, separated from the rest, found itself in a tense chase. The hyenas relentlessly pursued, with the wildebeest giving its all to outrun the hungry predators. In a display of agility and determination, the wildebeest evaded its pursuers for an impressive length of time. But ultimately, exhaustion took its toll, and the hyenas secured their meal. Slender Man. In a startling trail cam capture, a haunting figure sits amidst the forest, reigniting the debate about this once-thought fictional character's existence. The Slender Man, infamous for scaring children, may not be confined to the realm of imagination after all. Though no reports of child kidnapping surfaced in the vicinity, the photo poses an unsettling possibility. Are you ready to confront the mystifying Slender Man? Let us know which trail cam sighting scared you the most as we navigate through the blurred lines of reality and the eerie world of the unknown.
A cuttlefish. Have you heard of cuttlefish or cuttles? These little guys are actually fish found in deep parts of the ocean, and they're known to be highly toxic. But let's not focus on their dangerous side for now. Instead, let's talk about how incredibly unique and fascinating they are. Just take a look at their mesmerizing colors and reflections. It's no wonder they've been nicknamed the disco cuttlefish. And that's not all. They even have a way of hypnotizing their prey before attacking. It's truly a wonder to witness. An angel. This incredible video was taken in Jakarta, Indonesia on September 11, 2011. You can see a radiant winged being that looks like an angel descending from the sky and touching down on the ground before taking off again. When people saw this video, they started calling the figure the Angel of Jakarta. Some people even thought it might be a guardian angel sent down. However, there's always a chance that this might be fake.
Mystery of the Frozen Birds. Now, we jet off to sunny Florida, where a seemingly ordinary day takes an extraordinary turn. A resident captures a scene of a flock of birds soaring in the sky, their silhouettes against the vibrant blue canvas. But hold on, as he zooms in, the spectacle morphs into something truly uncanny. The birds aren't just flying, they're suspended in midair like feathered statues, frozen in time. For these agile flyers, hovering without constant wing flapping is a feat unknown in the world of avian acrobatics. Is this a real-life glitch in the Matrix? A moment when nature itself hits the pause button?
A creepy being. While a farmer was out with his goats and cows, he sensed that something was not okay. So he took his camera out and started checking the area. And what he found was this creepy black creature with big horns at the very edge of his property. Even though the creature did not look interested in coming near or harming the man, it was still good that he only recorded the thing and did not try to go near.
Mystifying Mothman. In the West Virginian town of Point Pleasant, a chilling legend was born, the Mothman. With wings and glowing red eyes, this mysterious being captivated the imaginations of those who claimed to have seen it. The tales of Mothman sightings spread like wildfire, leaving people both fascinated and terrified. Though evidence was mixed with hoaxes, the truth remained mysterious, leaving the existence of this cryptid open to interpretation.
Where trail cameras usually take pictures of animals when they're doing their normal things like resting, looking for food, and doing their daily tasks, sometimes these cameras capture really strange and funny moments too. Like this bear who was just doing its bear things when suddenly it saw something really strange in front of it. It was its own reflection. Can you imagine? The bear was really surprised and didn't like it at all. It didn't expect to see itself like that, and it got upset, or at least it seemed like it did.
The odd lion seizure. In Polennisburg National Park, an adventurer witnessed a peculiar sight: a lion suffering from a seizure after a failed wildebeest hunt. The ranger is both fascinated and frightened by this unexpected and rare behavior. The majestic predator's distress calls into question the mysteries of the wild and the complex lives of the creatures that inhabit it. The ranger wisely refrains from intervening and calls for assistance, understanding that nature can be unpredictable and should be observed with caution and respect. The weird behavior of this magnificent lion leaves everyone puzzled.
An open grave. While paying a visit to his loved ones in the cemetery, a guy stumbled upon something peculiar. He noticed a grave that was partially open and seemed like it was being destroyed. As he went closer, he was taken aback to see the remains of a body buried there, including a tall skeleton that was around 1.8 meters tall. But that wasn't all. There were other skulls and bones inside the grave, which hinted at some sort of witchcraft. However, nothing was ever really explained or
Electrocuted leopard. In the heart of India, a shocking scene unfolded. A leopard hung lifelessly from a tall electric pole. Villagers gathered around, puzzled and disturbed by this horrifying sight. The tragic and mysterious fate of the leopard raised questions about how it ended up in such a dire situation. There were only speculations, but the true answer remained unknown, leaving behind a haunting tale of the wilderness. The incident served as a reminder of the sometimes dangerous coexistence of humans and wild animals, raising awareness about the importance of conservation and responsible wildlife management. Bigfoot family. As you delve into this trail camera owner's extraordinary encounter, the photo's puzzling contents send chills down your spine. There it is! The hazy shape of a large, hairy creature navigating the forest, accompanied by a smaller humanoid figure, possibly its child. The debate over the existence of Bigfoot and its nature reignites, but what confuses everyone further are two more black figures lurking in the distance. Could there be more of these beings hiding among the shadows? The authenticity of the image remains unknown, but its enigma adds fuel to the endless discussion surrounding the mythic creatures.
The peculiar turkey ritual. In the heart of a suburban neighborhood in Randolph, Massachusetts, a mysterious sight unfolded. A flock of turkeys gathered around a lifeless cat. But this was no ordinary encounter. It took an unsettling turn as more turkeys emerged from the woods, forming a peculiar procession. For hours, they wandered around the deceased feline, leaving observers bewildered. The creepiness reached its peak when the turkeys seemed to be engaged in some inexplicable ritual, yet their intentions remained a mystery. As theories abound, curiosity grows. Could it be a gesture of mourning or a form of communication among these intelligent creatures?
An offended creature. This CCTV camera was only mounted to ensure the safety of the vehicles and all, but it ended up recording a weird creature who crawled up to a poster on the wall and then continued to scratch it to pieces before moving away and out of the camera's reach. And even if we look at it closely, it looks nothing like a human wearing any costume.
The tentacles of the deep. During a fierce storm, a trail camera witnessed a sight both awe-inspiring and spine-chilling. Massive tentacles emerging from the water, evoking the mythical kraken of legend. The vast ocean depths hold untold secrets, and this glimpse of colossal sea creatures leaves viewers wondering maritime myths and legends. The existence of such behemoths challenges conventional knowledge about our oceans. Cameras offer brief glimpses of these creatures, leaving us with more questions than answers about the wonders hidden within our oceans.
A waterbender. Have you seen this video that's been going viral lately? It's really interesting. Nobody knows where it's from, but it seems to have been filmed in Africa. In the video, a group of people are gathered around a woman standing in the water, and it looks like some sort of ritual is taking place. But then something crazy happens. All of a sudden, the water recedes super fast, and the bay is completely dry where others are standing. People freaked out and said that the shaman caused the water to shift using some kind of divine power. But nothing was ever explained by anyone.
Wolf-chewed trail cam. In the wild, even trail cams can become a predator's chew toy. One unfortunate camera faced the powerful jaws of a wild wolf, but miraculously survived the gnawing. The furry culprit left the camera behind, chomping it like a chew toy. The incident captured on camera offered a glimpse into the fierce survival instincts of the animal kingdom.
A mutant pig. This pig comes from China, and it looks very different from other pigs. Its face is shaped in a way that some people find scary, and it has a nose that looks strange, like a person's nose or something that boys have. Because of its unusual face shape, it has trouble breathing, and its tongue sticks out of its mouth in a funny way. When it opens its mouth wide, it looks like it's screaming, but no sound comes out. It seems like nature didn't protect this little piglet enough. Fog monster. Let's say the day's pretty stormy outside and you still think that you need to go outside to see how bad the weather is. And when you do, this is what you see? What will you do? Obviously go back into the house as soon as possible, right? Unlike this man who thought he should take his camera out and record it all. A brave soul, I must say, or maybe it's fake. What do you think?
A witch. A bizarre figure dressed in white was spotted standing directly under the window of a house where the mother and her baby had been only moments before. It appeared as though the figure knew where the family was located. The incident left the woman feeling shaken and terrified, with no logical explanation for what had just happened. Some say it was a witch, while others think it was something else. Still, it remains a mystery. A clingy octopus. Imagine you're out scuba diving, and when you surface for air, you discover an octopus that won't let go of your back. In a recent video, a diver experienced this unexpected surprise and was trying everything he could to shake off the clingy cephalopod. Despite moving in different directions, the octopus wouldn't budge, and the diver started feeling uncomfortable with its sharp beak and sticky suckers. Perhaps the octopus just wanted a hug. What do you think?
The Frenchie versus the Bears. In a suburban home, an unexpected face-off unfolded. A feisty 20-pound Frenchie named Jules took on not one, but 3 unwelcome bear visitors. This little pup didn't back down. She charged at the bears fearlessly, leaving everyone in awe. Jules nipped and annoyed the bewildered bears until they decided to retreat. It was a heavyweight matchup like no other, proving that size doesn't matter when it comes to the fight within. The fearless Frenchie became the talk of the town, and her bravery won the hearts of many. Mountain lion stalks hiker. In the heart of the forest, a hiker found themselves face to face with a furious mountain lion. The predator's instinct kicked in, and it gave chase to the fleeing hiker. The hiker, desperate to escape, ran as fast as possible, hoping to reach safety. With adrenaline pumping, the hiker raced ahead, praying for a miraculous escape from the relentless mountain lion's pursuit. The trail camera captured this hair-raising chase, revealing the raw intensity of survival in the wild. A girl in the woods. This trail camera was originally set up to monitor wolf activity around a man's property. It captured an unexpected and mysterious sighting on October 15, 2015 at 2:45 a.m. Look closely and you'll spot a girl walking away near a tree, cradling a stuffed animal in her hands. The eerie part? It's the dead of night, and no girl should be wandering alone in the woods at such an hour. While the footage offers no further clues, we're left to ponder the possibilities. Could it be a neighbor's daughter sleepwalking, lost in the darkness? Or does the forest harbor secrets beyond our comprehension? What do you think about this video?
A sea dragon. Just the head out of the water, standing straight, not even moving an inch, and water dripping from its mouth. This is a creature which was caught on camera somewhere in China. As soon as the video hit the internet, people started claiming it was a sea dragon. But the question is it really? Or is it just a fountain more than half inside the water? Let us know if you know anything about it.
A ghostly figure revealed. It is a haunting image that has sparked debates and intrigue. Zoom in and you'll spot a mysterious, colorless figure hiding behind a tree. The spectral appearance of a young girl. Some believe she met a tragic fate here, her spirit lingering in familiar surroundings. Interestingly, her apparition coincides with the time of Google's mapping expedition. Yet opinions diverge on this mysterious phenomenon. Some contend it's a true ghostly encounter, while skeptics propose digital manipulation via Photoshop. The question remains, is this an ordinary girl captured posthumously, or an ethereal presence lingering beyond the living?
A possessed cat. Long gone are the days when black cats were considered signs of bad luck or other things, but there are times when I find myself wondering, what if those people were right? And you'll agree with me when you see this black cat with glowing eyes staring straight towards the man. She refuses to clear the path for the man, which of course scares the hell out of him, and not only that, she also attacks and hisses at the man. What remains unexplained is what caused this cat to show such weird behavior.
Nature meets technology. In the ever-evolving landscape of technology, a fascinating fusion with nature unfolds, training eagles to intercept drones. Renowned for their keen vision and lethal hunting skillfully, these majestic birds take on a remarkable new role. Adopted by law enforcement agencies worldwide, eagles spot drones from afar, equipped to capture them mid-flight and safely deposit them away. The Netherlands' Dutch National Police spearheaded this bio-inspired solution in 2016, curbing security risks from unauthorized drone flights. While the practice showcases the remarkable potential of blending nature's prowess with technology, challenges and criticisms arise. Conservationists express concerns about potential harm to the eagles, despite efforts to protect them.
Brave calf and the wolf. In a heart-stopping moment, a calf's life hung in the balance as it faced a fierce battle with a cunning wolf. Its mother bravely fought to protect her young from the predator's grasp, demonstrating the fierce determination of motherly love in the animal kingdom. The struggle for survival unfolded before the viewers, leaving them in awe of the untamed forces of nature. The brave calf's fight for life and the mother's fierce defense of her offspring shows what it takes to survive in the wilderness.
Crocodile mummies. Crocs, whether they're dead or alive, will always give people the creeps. While excavating ancient tombs, researchers stumbled upon 12 crocs buried in the soil. From a distance, they looked like they were still alive, with their textured skin appearing fresh and their teeth still intact in their jaws. It was a bit unnerving, as it seemed like they could open their jaws at any moment. The researchers were amazed when they discovered that the crocodiles had been buried for 2,500 years, yet were still in almost pristine condition.
Figure roams the forest. A trail cam set up to ward off lurking predators captures a sight far beyond the ordinary. Instead of the expected wildlife, a peculiar gray figure emerges. Its deliberate, purposeful strides through the forest leave viewers perplexed. Seemingly at home in the wild, the figure kneels and stands with an enigmatic intent, adding to its otherworldly aura. Is it the spirit of someone long gone? A cryptid lurking in the shadows? Or simply someone in a makeshift ghost costume? The debate rages on, and opinions diverge between the paranormal and the mundane. Fierce animal standoff. A camera installed near a bald eagle's nest captured an intense confrontation. The mother eagle diligently incubated her eggs, but another predator approached. The intruder sought to prey on the eagle's young. But the vigilant mother was not having it. She fiercely guarded her nest, warning the predator with vocal warnings. When the intruder dared to come too close, the mother eagle fearlessly attacked, forcing it to retreat. The battle between the fearless mother and the hungry predator showcases nature's raw intensity. A child and mysterious mother. Russia, a land steeped in history and mystery, has now become the setting for bizarre and unsettling trail cam footage. A child levitating in midair while her mother watches on, laughing. It's the stuff of nightmares that horror movies warn us about. But this spine-chilling encounter was no work of fiction. The person who captured this mind-boggling scene had no choice but to witness the inexplicable sight, making a hasty retreat as their dog sensed something amiss. Is this a case of clever camera tricks? Or could there be a far more astonishing explanation? Some speculate about aliens in disguise, while others wonder if Russia might be involved in a secret meta-human project. Chupacabra or raccoon? This video showcases a figure that flirts with scientific acceptance and rational thought. None other than the elusive Chupacabra. With its bald skin, glowing eyes, and alien-like appearance, it's no wonder the local individual behind the recording drew this astonishing conclusion. As the creature forages through garbage, fear ripples through the community, unsure of this enigmatic being's true identity. While wildlife experts suggest it might be a severely ill raccoon, doubts linger. Skeptics suspect a deliberate cover-up to avoid tourist disruption. The truth remains shrouded in mystery, leaving us with a spine-tingling puzzle that demands further exploration.
A ghost shadow. A security guard whose duty, unfortunately, was of night, and he had to guard the building all night long. For some days, he was hearing weird noises like someone slamming the door, but he didn't pay much attention to it. But one day, it was getting a little too much, so gathered all the courage and went to check who exactly is there. While he couldn't see anyone, his camera captured a ghostly shadow on it. But was the ghost behind all those noises, or was there something more scary hidden? No one could even answer that.
Ghostly apparition or clever animation. In this trail cam footage, an otherworldly presence seems to emerge from the shadows. Keep a close eye on the video, and you might catch a glimpse of this translucent figure mysteriously moving in the background. Even the vigilant dog senses something amiss, barking toward the eerie apparition. The footage was captured by a brave explorer while venturing through the woods, but the encounter left him shaken, and he remains tight-lipped about the experience. Now the question lingers, is this a genuine paranormal encounter, or could it be a skillfully crafted 3D animation?
A mystery light. This video was filmed by a guy from Mexico. Some people who have watched it are saying it's one of the most clear sightings of a UFO ever caught on camera. Against a totally dark sky, you can see a weird blue circle that looks like it's morphing into different shapes. Apparently, this man had this strange thing hovering over his house for about a half an hour before it vanished. What do you think it might be? Millions of dead fish. Have you heard about the latest buzz in Australia's outback? Recently, a shocking video surfaced showcasing the aftermath of an unprecedented die-off of fish in a river. Due to extreme floods and hot weather, millions of fish have been left to rot in the river, resulting in a foul smell and a severe ecological crisis. However, there's some good news. Contractors have been hired to remove the rotting fish from the river. We're all used to the idea that tree twigs and branches are handy for starting fires. But hold on to your hats, because this video is going to blow your mind. It shows the inside of a tree that caught on fire, and people think it was caused by a lightning bolt heating up the sappy insides, which conduct heat really well. Or if you're feeling mystical, maybe supernatural beings sparked up this awesome fire for their own bonfire. What do you think? Leave a comment below and share your thoughts. An elephant. Sometimes animals can be big, frightening, and downright terrifying. But every now and then, they need a little help from us humans. Take this elephant for example. Poor thing was shot right in the head and was bleeding out. Obviously, elephants don't have a clue how to fix bullet wounds. So he approached some nearby humans, being careful not to scare them, and showed them the bullet lodged in his skull. Thankfully, the doctors acted quickly and did everything in their power to remove the bullet and treat the infection.
The Serbian Navaharka. Under the haunting moonlit night, a solitary figure dances on a desolate road in Serbia, shrouded in mystery. Locals claim this ghostly woman is none other than Navajarka, a vengeful entity from Serbian folklore. Her tragic past drives her to confront and harm lone travelers at night, leaving a trail of fear in her wake. The eerie encounters of aggression only fuel the legend. Is this video a real-life encounter with Navajarka, or merely a product of folklore come to life? Regardless, it is a haunting sight that calls forth the unknown and delves into the enigma of the paranormal.
Coyote packs hunt for buck. In the vast wilderness, a wounded buck became the target of two cunning coyotes. Starved and desperate for a meal, the coyotes stealthily stalked their prey, hoping for a moment of vulnerability. The injured buck, while weakened, fought valiantly to protect itself from the relentless predators. In an epic chase, the buck demonstrated resilience, circling around a bushy tree in a desperate attempt to evade the coyotes. Nature's dance of predator and prey unfolded before the watchful lens of the trail camera.
A levitating creature. Whether it was an extraterrestrial being or simply an optical illusion, this video is fascinating to watch. A large group of individuals gathered to witness this bizarre creature, which appeared to be levitating in midair while wearing wings on its arms and feet. Although it resembled a mermaid or an alien, it actually looked more like a boy. However, the reality behind the levitation was not as mysterious as it seemed. In fact, it was just a simple trick involving thin strings that helped the individual hover in the air. A UFO. A pilot was on his usual routine, flying a plane from one city to another. But what he did not know was that he was about to come across a sight he had ever imagined, a UFO. Now, for those of you thinking it was just a balloon, those don't fly forwards, they go upwards. And also, balloons do not have this kind of speed. So, nope, that wasn't a balloon. To me, it totally looks like a UFO.
The Wolf and the Dog. A forest echoed with the barks of a courageous dog as it faced off against a wolf. The tension was intense as the two predators confronted each other. The fierce encounter serves as a stark reminder of the law of survival in the wild, where only the strongest and most cunning prevail. As the dog valiantly defended its territory and the wolf staked its claim, viewers were left both amazed by the snow beast's cryptic appearance. Amidst the snowy peaks, a group of tourists witnessed a mysterious figure lurking among the dense woods. Its size and walk evoke legends of the mythical Yeti, a creature etched in folklore and mystery. The sight of this mysterious being leaves the tourists awestruck and wondering the mysteries that the wilderness holds. Speculations arise and stories are shared around the campfire, each attempting to unknot the mysteries of the snow beast. What do you think it was? The black figure returns. In the Tennessee woods, a person cautiously approached the spot where a ritual circle once stood. They come face to face with the same eerie black figure moving mysteriously in the shadows. Fear gripped them, and they quickly retreated, feeling as though they were being watched by an otherworldly creature. The eerie encounter was enough to make even the bravest of souls question the boundary between reality and the supernatural. The forest keeps its secrets close, leaving everyone with more questions than answers.
Bigfoot. In this video, Rick Dyer, a self-proclaimed Bigfoot tracker, claimed to have killed the elusive creature. The video shows a tense moment where the massive beast attacks the man holding the camera. Afterwards, Dyer provides a few pictures, claiming they're of the Bigfoot he killed. So do you think it was really a Bigfoot that he killed, or was he just lying straight away? A cheetah. This clip features an American tourist who got an unexpected guest on a safari in Tanzania. Well, Britton Hayes from Seattle got a special visitor in the form of a cheetah who jumped right into the back seat of his vehicle. And if that wasn't wild enough, another cheetah decided to join in on the fun. Poor Hayes was frozen with fear, praying he wouldn't become dinner for the big cats.
Wildlife drama unveiled. Hold your breath for a wildlife encounter caught by the trail camera. In this clip, we're transported to the untamed world of a group of graceful elks, quietly grazing in their natural habitat. But amidst their tranquility, a subtle shift in the air alerts us to an impending danger. With keen senses, one elk detects an unfamiliar scent, triggering a chain reaction of unease. In a display of unity, the herd reacts to her alarm call, fleeing to safety just before the arrival of a lurking lion. As we replay this stunning sequence, we're left awestruck by the elk nearest to us, who remains calm despite sensing the predator. Three-eyed creature. Deep in the woods of Finland, two brave adventurers placed a trail camera, hoping to capture the secrets of the night. Little did they know they'd stumble upon an unsolvable mystery. The camera disappeared overnight, only to be found later in a backyard. And what it captured? A spine-tingling image of a creature with three glowing eyes lurking in the shadows. Even Finnish wildlife experts were stumped. What could this unknown apparition be? Join the online frenzy as everyone debates theories on this eerie, spooky enigma hiding in the bushes. Sometimes the trail camera reveals secrets that even the bravest dare not fathom. Flying humanoid. If the furry humanoids weren't spooky enough, you now have one that can fly. Two young boys, while playing in the backyard of a farm in Kent, United Kingdom, noticed a weird-looking hive. With their father filming the video, they got closer to the hive when a flying bug came out of the hive. At first, it was thought to be a firefly or a dragonfly, but seconds later they could notice that this bug is humanoid. From arms to legs, it had a body structure completely similar to that of a human with wings to fly. As it came flying out, the father and the kids reacted by fleeing away. Since the footage has gone viral, many call it a real-life fairy.
Chilling cry for help. In the video, we witness a spine-tingling moment that no one wishes ever to encounter. We see a woman holding a laundry basket outside her house, about to enter a room. As she approaches the door, she freezes upon hearing a strained voice pleading for help. Followed by eerie moaning. Perplexed, she looks around but finds nothing unusual and eventually enters the room. The video then jumps to a later time after she called the police, who also hear the distressing sound. Despite the thorough investigation, they find no trace of the source. Speculations abound from hackers to pranks, even neighbors, but the truth remains elusive. The haunting cries for help in the video continue to baffle viewers.
The mysterious Bigfoot sighting. We're taking a closer look at one of the most famous trail cam footage in recent history, the Bigfoot sighting. In 2020, a man named Matt Cook, Oregon, claimed to have captured footage of Bigfoot using a trail cam. The video shows a large hairy figure walking in front of the camera with a distinctive gait and height. The figure in the video is estimated to be over 7 feet tall and is covered in dark fur from head to toe. The gait of the figure is distinctive and has been described as a shuffling, almost lumbering walk. Many people believe that the footage is real and provides solid evidence of the existence of Bigfoot. They argue that the figure in the video is not a person in a costume, but rather a real creature with a distinct physical appearance. However, some believe the footage is a hoax. They argue that the video could have been easily manipulated and that the figure in the video could be a person in a costume. Regardless of one's beliefs, the Bigfoot trail cam footage captured by Matt Cook, Oregon is considered one of the most disturbing and intriguing pieces of evidence in the search for Bigfoot. It has captured the imagination of people around the world and has sparked countless discussions and debates about the existence of this mysterious creature.
Buck attacks trail cam. Appearing on the camera already in the mood for a fight, the deer stood in front of the camera, buckled up, and then came straight for it. Hitting it a little gently at first, it goes back this time a little aggressively and comes back again. Not hitting it this time, the deer actually scowled at the camera, and then, working on its plan B, it tries to destroy it. Repeating this process for several times, the deer goes back into the jungle. It left the camera owner startled by its strange behavior, with no possible reason for it.
Forgotten bunker. Have you heard about those creepy abandoned bunkers scattered around the world? It's like a treasure hunt for urban explorers. And this time, we've got a forgotten one hidden deep in the Scottish woods. It's got history oozing from its concrete walls. Experts think it could have housed Churchill's secret army, ready to defend the homeland during World War II. Can you imagine? Soldiers bunkering down for months, ready for action. But hold up, there's still more of these secret shelters waiting to be discovered. Who knows what other mysteries are hiding in the wilderness just waiting to be found?
In pursuit of Bigfoot. In this riveting encounter, the cameraman finds himself in a mix of emotions, both worried and excited, as he faces what could be Bigfoot.
Get in the house! Get in the house!
He quickly urges his loved ones to seek safety indoors, while he ventures on a pursuit filled with anticipation. The mysterious being, covered in hair and large, cautiously moves along a forest road, disappearing into the dense foliage. During the pursuit, occasional grunts and ape-like hoots pierce the air, hinting at the creature's presence. These vocalizations seem to serve as warnings, urging the cameraman to maintain distance and proceed with caution. Wise to heed the advice, he decides to back off, considering the creature's imposing size and evident strength.
Flying girl. In the middle of the Russian forest, there was something creepy going on. Playing with his dog, this guy went after the dog, who ran in another direction. That's where he recorded something extremely bizarre and inhumane. Because see how the girl is levitating in the air with her mother watching along. With no support, no strings attached to her, the girl hovered in the air for some time, and seeing that they were caught, they disappeared into the trees, leaving the people baffled by their weird stunt. Because how could someone do this? Yeti in snow. The Washington State Department of Transportation uploaded this video in the year 2020, claiming that they have caught Bigfoot. The video shows an ape-like creature sprinting in the Washington mountain passes. But the spectators did not believe the provided evidence and called it a hoax, as the bipedal creature was resembling a human. Therefore, soon after this video, a resident of a nearby town uploaded another video of a similar creature in the woods. Caught only a few meters apart from the cameraman, the Sasquatch comes out of the woods, kneels down for an unknown reason, and then stood up and rushed to the woods. And right after it was gone, the man heard a scary howl coming from the woods, which did not in any way feel like they were of a wild animal. The slender figure. This dashcam captures a man sprinting across the road at an unearthly speed. I'm curious about its origins and aims because of its strange legs and humanoid shape. Is it an extraterrestrial being from space, or perhaps a fabled skinwalker on the hunt? The driver's inaction prompts doubts about the veracity of the footage, but the unpredictability of the enigmatic figure is really unsettling. The Yeti on the Hill. A group of tourists were shocked to see a huge, hairy person hiding in the thick forest among Nepal's snow-capped hills. The enormous stature and human-like stride remind people of the fabled Yeti. As the tourists consider their chances of coming across the unsettling creature, they felt a mix of excitement and anxiety. With each traveler telling their own version of the event, the meeting turned into an amazing experience. After going through something so strange, I would probably never venture into the woods again. Rock-throwing creature. Always intending to spook us, this time Bigfoot has devised yet another scheme, lurking behind a massive tree. The man who is visiting the woods is being watched by the cryptid. And then, as soon as the camera reaches those sneaking eyes, not ready to make an appearance, it hides behind the trees. But it returned once more. That too with a strike strategy this time. The Bigfoot realizes it's time to leave as he tosses a stone in the man's direction. The man quickly returns to his automobile.
Oh, that was a rock. Oh.
And now the beast stands at a slight distance without even trying to hide itself and throws a stone directly into the cameraman's face. Although this video has drawn a lot of attention, analysts think there's a good probability it's not a human wearing a costume, because it would be difficult to make a throw while wearing a bulky outfit. Coyote howling. The image stands out as the most peculiar trail cam capture. Captured in Southern California, It depicts 3 coyotes howling simultaneously, howling and exuding the spookiest sensations while standing somewhat apart. The man considered it to be the scariest thing he had ever come across until he noticed an object in the shadows. 2 dazzling eyes stared directly at the coyotes as though they were about to attack. However, what was it? Some suggest that these eyes could belong to a lurking Sasquatch-like creature that was drawn to the growls as it feeds on the animal's blood, despite the fact that some thought it was another animal. However, please share your thoughts on the image with me. Rake sighting. Aiming at the unfortunate man adrift in the forest, creeping up a slender tree. That is one lean beast, all set to strike its next victim at any moment. This is the tale of an Alaskan man who went to Tongass National Park in 2018. He got lost among the tracks while camping there with his buddies. As the night deepens, he starts panicking, thinking he may not make it to his group. The man went crazy when he noticed something on the tree. The guy was startled as he turned his light back to the creep's body and saw the lean creature with an open mouth and the fabled blazing eyes after initially mistaking it for a wild animal. There was just one option: to run. So he did that exact thing. Crouching giant. Captured in the northeastern region of Arizona, the video shows a massive beast that can be seen slithering over a rock. The strange crawl is what makes this creature spooky. Although it resembled a gigantic black bear, no 4-legged creature moves in this way. Thus, convinced that it was the supposed Bigfoot discovered in the Arizonian highlands, the man was taken aback when, in a matter of seconds, it transformed its body into a tiny canine-like creature. What then? A dog or a bipedal animal? He was confused when others suggested a different idea and dubbed it a skinwalker after the man published the video. It is said to transform and assume the forms of many different creatures. So, a skinwalker then? An enormous animal? Or a ruse? Tell me what you folks think it is. Monstrous wolf. In an attempt to photograph the newborn bear pups, a man placed his trail camera close to a black bear's lair. After spending the entire night there with his camera and coming back the following day, the man was taken aback to see what strange-looking monster the cubs had become. The strange appearance was further enhanced by the demonic features, alien-like ears, and frighteningly bright eyes that exude a spooky aura. The wolf-like monster was peeking out from the trees as if it was searching for something, most likely his next victim. However, because it was photographed in the dark, and there were no other obvious evidence of the cryptid's presence along the trail, save the video that was taken, not much could be found out regarding its identity. Monkey Man crossing a river. The Bigfoot enthusiast had a rather different tale to tell. They genuinely think that the creature in the river is a Sasquatch, known as the Monster of the Dewey Lake. This entity from folklore inhabits the southern part of Michigan and is said to possess a strong and hairy body. Despite having half of its body submerged in water, the creature appears towering due to its reddish-brown torso. And this is what sets off people's mental triggers. Is that a man wearing a monkey suit? Or is that the lake monster? The strange humanoid figure. Trail cameras are positioned to watch wildlife, but occasionally they record unusual scenes like a strange humanoid figure walking across a field. Its human-like characteristics and atypical limbs raise questions regarding the existence of unidentified species or cryptids. This mysterious, enigmatic figure pushes the boundaries of what we know about the natural world and invites us to investigate the realm of the unexplained. The discovery of the trail camera inspires awe and curiosity in us and compels us to learn more about the mysteries that are outside the realm of our normal understanding. Bigfoot family. You'll feel your spine tingle as you explore this trail camera owner's incredible encounter and its mysterious contents. And there it is, the vague outline of a big, hairy animal moving through the forest with a similar humanoid figure that might be its offspring. Two additional black figures that are hiding in the distance are what have everyone even more perplexed as the argument regarding Bigfoot's existence and nature rages again. Were there more of these creatures lurking in the shadows? The image's validity is still a mystery, but its mystery feeds into the never-ending debate about the legendary animals. The tentacles of the deep. A trail camera captured this breathtaking and terrifying scene during a strong storm. Enormous tentacles rising out of the ocean, reminiscent of the legendary Kraken. The enormous ocean depths conceal countless mysteries, and this vista of enormous marine life makes viewers think about nautical myths and stories. The existence of these enormous creatures calls into question accepted wisdom regarding our oceans. The few glances that cameras provide us with of these creatures provide us with more questions than answers on the wonders that lie under our waters. Bear's spooky heist. The following video shows a black bear skulking around a homeowner's property, examining its surroundings like a cunning would-be thief. He sets out on a daring quest to raid the chicken coop as soon as he thinks it's safe. He searches around for a way to unlock the wooden coop. He looks around for possible flaws while standing on his hind legs. When he's unable to open it calmly, the bear becomes desperate and uses force to rip and bite through the wood. But wait, there's more to see from the homeowner's trail camera. The homeowner is left in shock by the midnight marauder as the bear flees into the darkness after being startled by an alarm system. Ghost bird. Talk about an eerie surprise! Imagine mistaking a ghost bird for a harmless piece of wood. The great putu, a nocturnal bird renowned for its unsettling camouflaging abilities, is this grumpy-looking beast. These skeletal birds, found in Brazil and Mexico, give you the creeps. But fear not, they are largely benign and content to live in their forest habitat. So the next time you see a strange-looking bird, hold off on drawing assumptions. Perhaps it is merely a ghost bird keeping watch over its eerie realm. Abandoned car forest. Tucked down in the middle of a Belgian woodland is an auto cemetery that would make horror flicks blush. Can you imagine neon-colored flowers blooming from engines, or cars entwined with tree roots? You'll think that this post-apocalyptic scene is right out of a Hollywood production. But don't be alarmed. Nature is slowly reclaiming man-made objects, as evidenced by this unsettling spectacle. Some residents find the automobiles to be a lovely quirk, while others find the constant stream of inquisitive tourists unsettling. When you drive through Google Maps, you'll encounter something that'll make you doubt reality. Fearless forest thieves. These days, raccoons aren't limited to the grasslands and woods. They're now moving into cities. They are the best scavengers because of their skillful paws, which allow them to pick locks and unlock doors. Watch this trail camera video to see how raccoons find an abundance of food. A buck, though, wants in on the action as well. Soon, as more raccoons join the celebration, a vicious brawl breaks out. The deer is outnumbered, but its antlers are formidable tools. Nevertheless, the raccoons fulfill their namesake by darting off and coming back for more. Hiding predator. Taking a deer by surprise and choosing not to fight it? Is that a real predator hiding there in the shadows? When he set up his trail camera, this man had no idea it would record an unsuccessful ambush attempt. A deer initially materialized in front of the camera and settled in to unwind, slumbering there for a while. Right before it shifts and briefly disappears from the view of the camera, two bright eyes materialized behind him and began to go to the side. Even though he was asleep, he instantly got to his feet and startled the predator after realizing he had been watched. Deer approaches hunter. Now, either this buck must have witnessed something for which he was unprepared, or a large beast is approaching to attack him. This hunter was aiming for the wild deer in the Kruger National Park. However, it was taken aback by his peculiar behavior, because the deer charged at him as soon as he brought down the rifle. Standing next to him, the spooked up deer didn't stop staring back at him even while the guy stroked it, as if someone was still at it. Even after the examiner saw the film, it became clear that the deer only act in this way when they are genuinely afraid or in need of some assistance. Face to face with chimps. This man, who generally shies away from people, was shocked to see the chimp seated next to him. He was terrified, but tried controlling himself. He's being incredibly patient. They gave off the creepiest vibes when they sniffed him and then pricked the terrified man with their sharp nails. Even more, one of them scaled the tree to presumably perch on the adventurer's back. And just when it seemed like the adventurer would always be under attack by the chimps, they started to leave. They all departed one by one, as though something had compelled them to. Thankful but perplexed, as quickly as they could, the explorers also left that place. Ghostly spirits. Strolling through Stansted Forest and past a little UK town, this man managed to snap an eerie scene. There were other ghostly spirits floating in the air along with the fog. A few had the appearance of an elderly woman, while others resembled children, and the rest were distorted as nothing could be made out of them. The people who live close to the woodland claim that these are the ghosts of an elderly couple who tragically died when they crossed the nearby railroad tracks, and they have been tormenting those who visit that woodland ever since. Bear attacks wild piglet. The Tejon Ranch Conservancy is the scene of a ferocious hunt captured on camera, as a wild piglet is being chased by a grizzly. The bear made a leap, that is, a leap towards success, just as he was about to lose his catch, and managed to get the piglet this time. With his enormous jaws clamped shut, the bear disappears from view. But aren't we all aware of what transpired with the unfortunate piglet? It's obvious that this bear dislikes being in the spotlight. Observe his ferocious charge towards the camera. He returns to the wild, sad that nothing more could be done. Peking alien. You won't be able to organize a late-night camping trip after watching this video, especially not in the middle of a creepy forest. Friends were building a fire to keep scavenging animals away from their tents when they heard an unexplained disturbance in the darkness. When one of the guys threw the fire in front of the tree, he wasn't expecting to find this. A little gray cryptid with pointed fingers was hiding behind the tree, attempting to stay warm. As the man filming it tried to get a better look, the creature hurriedly scurried away. Unfortunately, details regarding the figure were unavailable, but it appeared to me to be an extraterrestrial. Humo crab. A group of friends were enjoying a bonfire in the middle of the dense woods when they decided to go for the girl who had disappeared so they could make a call.
Can't see it very well. Yeah.
This decision gave them the worst shock of their lives. While looking for the girl, they were horrified to discover that she was lying lifeless in front of a tree.
Okay.
Suddenly, though, an unsettling thing leapt out from behind one of the bushes. The unknown entity appeared to be a human crab-like monster with several limbs connected to a human body. Even if there was no satisfying conclusion to this video, these horrifying minutes should be enough to make you reconsider your camping plans the next time you go out. Sasquatch spotted in Russia. These 16-second video clips feature some of the weirdest moments anyone has ever witnessed. Captured in 2011 by an unidentified source in Russia, this video provides a closer look at the most talked about mythological beast. With its enormous hairy torso and extended arms, it resembled a true Sasquatch. There was nothing else to be said about the creature because the man filming it appeared to be afraid of it. However, The flawless humanoid gait suggested that the fabled Sasquatch was in the woods, since it was spotted hurrying through them after realizing it was being filmed. Hidden striker. Wild animals have long been drawn to trail cameras. This time, it was a covert attacker who targeted a trail camera that was placed somewhere in Japan. The unidentified creature was standing at the back, moving the camera left to right in an attempt to remove it from the tree. When attacking from behind failed, a wild boar that was hidden there surfaced and continued to attempt to take the enigmatic object from a tree. Scary gator. Here we have another swamp inhabitant filmed somewhere in southwest Florida. It was spotted creepily approaching the trail camera with glowing eyes and horrifying features, giving the impression that it would snap open its hideous fangs and shatter the camera in an instant. Fortunately, though, this menacing alligator ignored the trail camera and moved quickly through the wet marsh while towing its powerful armored tail. Woodpecker smashed trail cam. 2 years ago, a group of scientists were recording various wildlife species with a trail cam when they recorded an incredible moment. Unfortunately, an aggressive woodpecker was drawn to the scene who was definitely not pleased with this new addition to the trunk. It began pecking the camera while staring straight into the lens, and it kept doing so until the camera was totally damaged. Whatever the purpose, it could be pecking to dig a nest hole or simply spotting an insect to eat. I was genuinely curious about the strength of that pointed beak. Lion chewed GoPro. This time, an inquisitive big cat targeted a GoPro instead of a trail cam. The lioness chose to approach and opened her enormous mouth to seize the camera with her strong teeth after ambushing the camera positioned at the rear of a Jeep. Following a successful camera heist, the large feline swiftly fled and was observed sprinting. She stole the camera from her owner and chewed on it with her pointed, sharp teeth in the bushes far away. And all that was visible to us was a close-up of its mouth. But when the lioness realized there was no flesh on that thing, she left it there and moved on. Strange alien sticks. This time, a trail cam caught footage of something entirely unearthly. Not a dogman or a Bigfoot, but a strange white person with missing hands and incomplete facial characteristics that was seen on camera at an unidentified location. It accurately appeared to be walking on its long, odd legs. Then, from a distance, a second monster with the same features appeared and began moving in the same way. Both of the unidentifiable animals bounced past the camera, moving their defective bodies on the strangely elongated legs. Though not much is known about these unidentified walking objects, they reminded me of marching alien sticks that had risen out of nowhere and vanished into the woods. Dog chased a hairy beast. A man took his dog to the lush habitat of the wild with the intention of recording some moments with the wildlife. The camera was set on the collar of the dog, and it unintentionally photographed a giant biped that appeared from one side and went directly in front of the camera while it was wandering through the wooded route. Many people assumed the enormous monster, which was briefly seen, was a bear, although bears don't typically hide. They attack. Upon closer inspection, the black features of a bear also resemble the legendary Bigfoot. Thus, is the Bigfoot or any other hairy beast making its way through there? Guesses, anyone? Wolfman hybrid. Following on the list is some of the strangest footage, which displays a big, hairy creature with some odd traits. Multiple times, an animal head was captured on a bipedal humanoid body. After seeing this video on a trail camera, a group of hunters made the decision to go to the woods in hopes of finding further hints. However, before they could get to the precise spot, they saw another hairy beast tampering with the enormous excavator bucket. Since they were moving, only a brief video of the scene was captured. Despite their efforts to halt and pursue the creature, it swiftly disappeared back into the jungle. They have become sufficiently persuaded of the Wolfman's existence after gathering substantial proof of the enormous black beast. Predator's mouth. The hairy body, the eerie mouth, and the teeth in the shape of a cone. When a man in Pennsylvania placed his trail camera above a little locust tree, he was startled by the bizarre images it took. Despite not being an animal, the camera managed to catch the interior of its mouth. The man initially mistook it for anything else and believed he had caught an enigmatic monster attempting to attack the camera. After viewing the photos repeatedly, he eventually realized that it wasn't an unidentified animal, but rather a fisher, a weasel family member drawn to the camera by the clicking sound it makes when taking images. Resting brute. Here's the hairy beast relaxing in the scorching sun, and here it's meandering through the forest. Strange noises have been heard coming from the state park nearby. The residents decided to install a trail camera to find out who was creating the weird noises, even though they weren't initially aware of the source. They were let down when they saw nothing on the trail cameras. However, just when they had given up on ever apprehending the rowdy neighbor, a hairy ape-like creature was seen lying on the ground by one of the trail cameras. The enormous size of the beast, even in its state of repose, was enough to freeze the people to the bone. Here is the hairy brute resting under the blazing sun, and here it is strolling in the woods. Unknown animal. Well now, that's one spooky critter that was spotted wandering through the forest. The image was captured by a trail camera in the Mexican woods in 2019 and occasionally appears online. The image depicts a spooky creature that, despite his hyena-like features, is significantly different from one due to his hairless body. What then was it? The man made the solo decision to go into the woods in an attempt to get answers. After failing to locate one, it was when he was making his way back that he noticed odd sounds coming from the deep forest. However, ill-prepared to face the terrifying creature, he made the decision to retreat. Lucky squirrel. More than an hour was spent stalking it and waiting for the right moment. Finally, the owl made the decision to go after the squirrel. However, the hungry owl's day was not lucky, since, as it pursued the squirrel through the forest, it was about to subdue it with its sharp claws, and then came the tree, and it struck the bark quite hard. Thus, the squirrel hid beneath the fallen leaves this time, taking advantage, rendering it uncatchable for the owl. Spooked deers. 3 deer running in the opposite way from each other. Many are trying to figure out what might have happened to frighten the deer after seeing this image captured by a trail camera. Although I believe I know the answer to these concerns, from the exact track, another camera caught a partially visible deer facing the opposite direction, because that's where the Bigfoot is, right behind the prickly bushes. It's also possible that the deer have seen the Bigfoot here as well, which would explain why they are so terrified. Christmas beast. When one family saw something in the woods on Christmas Eve, their day became a nightmare. The Bigfoot was just briefly captured on film when it emerged from the pitch-black jungle and glided around its edge. As a result, it was difficult to trust the video. The dog is seen sprinting in the same direction that the Bigfoot was strolling up to at this point. Fearful yet growling at the creature, the dog practically lost control. And honestly, the video seems pretty legit due to that dog's reaction. And even though this location is different, the camera captured a similar figure strolling along the icy sidewalk. Struck by owls. While exploring Arizona's deep forests, explorers have claimed to have seen a large number of dead birds. They were also able to determine the cause by installing their trail camera. These unfortunate eagles, resting on the tree, had no idea that a predator was waiting for them. When he was initially hidden in the dark woodland, the only way to identify the flying predator was with his bright eyes. Waiting for the right moment to strike, and then taking it, it materializes out of the shadows and accomplishes his intended task, striking the dozing eagle with his powerful claws. With his intensity, it appears nearly impossible for him to stop coming. where in their defense the eagles have most likely forgotten to soar. They could see the squirrel taking care of it for them. He made a huge, seemingly airborne leap as soon as he realized he was going to be attacked. However, this is where the owl was seen abruptly appearing on the track and striking the rider in the face. Wood chase. The days of mountain lions avoiding human interaction are long gone, as they are now frequently spotted interacting with hunters, and yes, even pursuing hikers. Like this time, a hiker on the route came with an enraged cougar. Trying to get the cougar to go away, practically pleading with it, the man turned to go back but was unable to turn around because that hungry predator would have an open invitation to go after him.
I promise. I'm not going away.
Since it's already waiting for its chance to assault the man. The man did indicate his safe return when he published the video, despite the fact that it ended in the middle of the chase. And here it was, a bear that had been seen pursuing the rider into the woodland. The bear bolted toward the cyclist, appearing out of nowhere among the trees. Even though he was riding quickly, the man was startled by a falling tree. He immediately got to his feet and raced to the right side of the woods, where he was fortunately spared from the assault. Sasquatch hunting. Paul Freeman, who was always on the lookout for Bigfoot in the impenetrable forests, gained notoriety in the late 1990s for presenting the most reliable Bigfoot evidence. And it's one of those unquestionable catches here. Captured in 1994 in Oregon's Blue Mountains, while on a walk in the woods, Paul noticed movement behind one of the trees. He quickly opened his camera and saw the walking bipedal ape. Heart thumping, he continued filming the hirsute beast, terrified by his discoveries. The hairy cryptid was big enough to be seen, even if it was moving slowly. Following analysis, he went on to say that it was a massive beast that stood at least 2 meters tall. Gazelle ditches lion. When it comes to the lion versus any other wild animal, I believe that we are all a little biased toward the king of the jungle. However, this video will totally shift your point of view. A group of explorers was filming a gazelle drinking water in the Serengeti National Park when they noticed a lion coming stealthily in. They also predicted the outcome. Just as the lion was about to seize the gazelle, it surprised it with its incredible speed and leapt over it, heading in a different direction, surprising both the onlookers and the lion. As the gazelle managed to preserve itself, it was undoubtedly a memorable defeat, and the lion was unable to turn around due to his rapid speed. Well, if it was a stall, I must say, gazelles are quite good at it. Cougar defense. Video footage of a mother cougar and her cub, taken in the Mendocino National Forest, opens with them cuddling. However, you are unaware that a grizzly bear is about to spoil this amazing occasion. I must admit, though, that the bear is likewise unaware of the mommy's fighting skills. The mother cougar swiftly covered her kids and moved toward the approaching bear, while keeping an eye on it. The bear struggled fiercely, but was eventually bitten severely on one of its ears, which ultimately turned out to be a cue for the bear to retreat. The grizzly outruns the cougar and retreats back into the jungle, even though it was being followed. Bear chasing bald eagle. This merely serves as evidence of how far a bear will go to obtain its meal. A family was fishing in northern Saskatchewan when they noticed an eagle's nest perched atop a towering tree. The scene was captured in a Canadian forest. However, a bear charged the tree and began attempting to scale it shortly after a few minutes had passed. The bear was carrying a big load and was having trouble climbing the tree, but the family said that despite falling multiple times, he never gave up. And at last, reaching up there, it is seen fighting and outlasting the parents, even at such a height, and coming back down, holding the eaglet in its teeth. Kansas skunk ape. Numerous tales of the Kansas City skunk ape that was frequently discovered in the woods are making their rounds on social media, but this one was above them all. While strolling her dog through the jungle, a woman noticed a massive, hairy creature ambling through the trees. The beast was likely 6 feet tall, with dense hair covering its face, making it nearly impossible to see. What do you guys think this anonymous being was? Despite the fact that many think it's a Sasquatch that was photographed, some people are skeptical about it, and viewers find it difficult to accept that the creature in the film is genuinely a Bigfoot, rather than a costumed human, because it's a little grainy. Grizzly bear attack caribou. This time, it's a caribou. Grizzlies are no doubt the most determined animals when it comes to feeding their empty gizzards. And coming up with different strategies, they really don't give their opponents a chance to strike back. Drinking water from the stream, the caribou found itself standing in the face of death as a bear was aiming at it, striking with its massive antlers and running off to the other side. Just when the caribou thought it had outrun the bear, there it was again, standing behind the poor animal. And this time, when the caribou tried to scare the bear off with its antlers, it grabbed it from there, and, well, don't we all know what happened next? Climbing coyote. One thing is certain. If it results in the wild creatures stuffing their stomachs, they won't think twice about doing anything. Because, well, how often do you see a coyote up a tree? Alka, a Pine Lake resident, took a picture of the coyote eating berries while perched on a tree branch. After initially consuming them from the ground, when it was unable to reach the delicious berries, it made the decision to ascend. Coyotes are thought to be able to climb up to 18 meters. Thus, even if it appears common, they are rarely spotted doing so. Bear and hunters. Perched on a hunting stand, the hunter believed he was hidden from the wild creatures. However, he was proved wrong as a bear approached to say hello. After spotting it perched atop, it swiftly scales the tree and confronts the hunter. The bear investigated the tree, and the man also dropped to the ground. Remarkably composed, the hunter captured the entire event on camera. When these two charged on the top of the tree, those hunters were shivering, even if the preceding one had been a little calmer. Fortunately, they returned after sniffing one of them and losing interest immediately. Buck attacks trail cam. They look like they're ready for a battle when they appear on camera. The deer bolted toward the camera after buckling up and standing in front of it. When you hit it a bit lightly at first, it returns quite fiercely this time and then comes back. The deer genuinely glared at the camera, not only missing this time. He then attempts to destroy it while working on its backup plan. After a package of destruction, the bear returned to the jungle. The owner of the camera was taken aback by its peculiar behavior, which had no apparent explanation. Croc hunts wild boar. A visual representation that conveys the feeling of being stuck between a rock and a hard place. Standing in the water because of the wild dogs waiting for it in the dry land, this wild boar has no idea that it has unintentionally invited another dangerous predator. A crocodile hiding in the water stalked the boar while it considered how to get rid of the hounds. It then leaped at the boar, clutched it, and threw it back into the water as soon as it noticed the approaching predator. Their expressions show that, despite their grief at losing their capture, the dogs are also grateful that it was not one of them. Werewolf encounter. The widespread belief is that werewolves typically surfaced at a full moon. Although, however, a man claimed to have had a near brush with a werewolf on a pitch-black night 3 years prior in Brazil. When the horrifying beast came out of the shadowy jungle, it was observed cowering behind a wooden structure. But as soon as it realized it was being observed, it leapt out and tried to harm the man who was filming it. Fortunately, though, the man was able to flee, and all he saw was a glimpse of the werewolf attempting to intrude into his one and only backyard. Bear inspecting trail cam. Are you still under the impression that the only creatures that venture outside at night to investigate are the mythical ones? we have a really weird video that shows a creature with thick, hairy limbs attempting to seize control of a trail camera. The enormous, inquisitive bear attempted to take hold of the camera with its teeth after utilizing its enormous hands to take it out. A bear's powerful teeth can typically completely destroy a camera. However, when this footage abruptly stops, what could have happened to the camera is unknown to me. Can someone further enlighten me? The Catalonian Fallen Angel. Have you ever seen something so eerie and bony that it made you reconsider going out at night? Meet the terrifying cryptid known as the Catalonian Fallen Angel, which was seen on camera in Spain. We're not sure if it's a real demon or simply a crazy person. That glaring eye and the lightning-fast movement, though, would make anyone want to flee for the hills. Some people even assert that it has wings remaining on its back. Whether or not this is a fallen angel, it's truly an unsettling creature. Clever monkeys. This trail camera footage shows a group of inquisitive monkeys. They approach the camera and look at it curiously at the start of the film, demonstrating their curiosity. A courageous monkey even ventures closer to examine the enigmatic contraption in further detail. But what at first glance appeared to be a harmless curiosity quickly takes an unexpected turn. The monkeys eventually show their real colors after engaging in some lighthearted conversation. They had been plotting to take the camera all along. It's clear that these primates are up to no good as soon as the camera moves. Their cleverness and resourcefulness are astounding us with their naughty conduct, demonstrating once more the wonders and secrets of the natural world. Mysterious encounter down under. 3 friends can be seen jokingly posing for a picture at 4:38 in this North Australian video, completely oblivious to the strange event taking place behind them. Rather than taking a picture, the camera bearer captures a remarkable moment in time. Something that defies description appears behind them and makes them feel extremely afraid. Slowing down the video allows us to get a better look at this mysterious creature, which has an odd mix of human and canine features. Its elongated limbs are humanoid in appearance, although they are strangely thin. The creature, clad in blackness, moves on all fours, displaying an unsettling agility. This incredible experience serves as a reminder of the mysteries that lie beyond our knowledge, even though its true identity is yet unknown. Mysterious highway encounter. Picture yourself driving down a busy highway, going about your business, when you see something strange happen. A driver is left completely perplexed when they see an unexpected scene on their camera. A van comes up from the other side as they round a bend. Observe carefully as a man appears out of nowhere on the road, appearing to be falling. There's no chance of his falling out of the car because the doors never open. Rumors are rife. Did he really have remarkable powers, or did a gateway arise and send him along the road? We're left wondering about the unexplainable since we don't know the man's identity or the whole tale. Mysterious glitch in reality. In this strange video that went viral on social media, a man is shown naively going down a set of stairs without any idea what terrifying things are going to happen to him. Something very unsettling occurs when he goes onto the pavement. Out of nowhere, he trips over a woman's lifeless body that's lying on the ground. Twice the video is replayed, once in slow motion and again featuring a close-up of the enigmatic, unmoving figure. Such unexplainable occurrences are frequently referred to as a glitch in the matrix, where reality appears to briefly distort beyond comprehension. Viewers are perplexed by the woman's abrupt entrance and uncannily lifeless state. So what are your thoughts? After seeing the film, share your comments with us about this enigmatic and bewildering mystery. A figure in the wilderness. Imagine watching your trail cam footage and coming across this strange sight. Likely, you would consider one of 2 options. Initially, there was a scarecrow that had unexplainably fallen from its pole, possibly to go see the magician. Alternatively, you could have a sense of being lost in a forested rendition of Elm Street. A human-looking figure with an odd helmet rushing across the woods makes no sense at all. It's enough to send shivers down anyone's spine and leave you wondering what in the world, or beyond it, you just saw. At times, the natural world can genuinely astonish us with mysterious and unsettling experiences, leaving us with more questions than answers. Cryptid in woods. This man is unaware that a scary beast is about to destroy his plans to explore the woods early in the morning. After setting up camp in the forest and choosing to go around the trails, the man noticed an odd cryptid behind one of the trees in the footage he was filming. He was heard inquiring if that was a cow approaching, possibly perceiving it was a wild animal. However, the odd-looking, whitish thing approached the man before he could identify it, leaving him with nearly little time to rescue himself. However, the man scrambled to get away from the menacing stalker. And furthermore, since the video finishes abruptly, it is unclear what happened next. Stalking a Bigfoot. This time, a man rather than the Bigfoot made the decision to follow it. As he entered the woodland in the snow, the man was certain he would find what he was looking for. Not so simple, however, after spending several hours strolling through the woods. The man saw this thing. The hirsute person, either unaware of him or choosing to ignore him, was observed strolling around, unfazed by the man. This time, he grabbed the beast from a slightly closer perspective, since he was not content with the distance he had previously used. Just take a look at the Sasquatch's lofty height and bushy torso. The analysts saw that the beast was at least 1.7 meters tall, and could have easily finished the victim if he had wanted to after reviewing the footage. But luckily, it did not. Sasquatch on stroll. The man was hiking through the Maine woods in the morning, not realizing he had a buddy with him, creating a video blog and discussing the trails in the deep woods and the wildlife that may be found there. Just before the guy moved his camera, the supposed Sasquatch was seen standing motionless next to a large tree, presumably hiding from the man or pursuing him. Throughout the entire time the camera was focused on it, that Yeti remained still. However, the man only got a glimpse of the terrifying figure, since he failed to recognize it immediately. Snowy Bigfoot. A group of adventurers saw this strange bipedal creature strolling down the mountain as they were standing in the middle of nowhere. Its enormous torso was completely covered in dense black hair. Examiners found that it would be impossible for a human to walk on the snow slope without any obvious assistance, despite some witnesses claiming it was just another hiker on the mountain. The people were astounded that it traveled such a great distance in a short period of time, especially considering how difficult it is for an individual to walk at such a high speed in the snow at the moment the camera captured the wide panorama. Horned animal. The creature was discovered in Colombia by a farmer who was searching the area for bees after it had crept out of a spiky bush. The animal's unusual appearance was enhanced by its two horns over its head and its black color. It was sitting beneath a power pole and was staring straight at the cameraman, giving off the impression that it would attack at any second. However, the man was so afraid of the unsettling cryptid that he dared not approach it. After a few minutes outside, that horned beast vanished behind some bushes and was never seen again. Unicorn elk. This unicorn is not exactly like others, but it gained notoriety due to a deformity in the antler directly above the nose. Thus, it became the elk family's unicorn. Taken in Tampico, a tiny town close to Illinois, this deer had an unusual appearance when it first appeared on the trail camera. While other onlookers thought it was an alien species because it was so unusual, researchers explained that, despite being unusual, this phenomenon is caused by a genetic mutation, or occasionally an injury sustained during the antler growth process. Witch in dark. A farmer installed a trail camera to record what happens there after midnight after hearing odd noises for a few evenings in a row. At first, nothing was captured, but when the man had started giving up hope, an unsettling figure started to appear from the screen. The monster had luminous eyes and an alien-like visage, giving it the appearance of a witch. The people were in disbelief since they had never seen a creature like this before, because they could not see the remainder of the body in the dark forest. What was it then? An extraterrestrial? A sorceress? Tell me what you guys think, please. Road crossing Yeti. Driving down a road encircled by a dark forest, a man was forced to apply the brakes quickly. How come? Well, the answer is that strange thing that's sitting in the middle of the road. Upon catching sight of it from a distance, the man initially believed it to be a man in need of assistance. However, he stopped his car there, and as he was ready to get out, the cryptid began to crawl away from the road and into the bushes. The crawler's eerie characteristics are enough to frighten anyone, even if they are a little fuzzy. And since it was posted in 2021, the authorities have not disclosed anything regarding its genuine identity. What then was it? Tell me what you think. Skinwalker. This pale creature, who appeared to be elderly, was observed strolling around Kentucky in 2022. Inspiring paranormal buffs, this video went viral right away. The video's unsettling atmosphere is enhanced by the alien-looking humanoid monster that is seen strolling down an abandoned street. It also appears to be a little slumped over. The creature appears to be lurking from somewhere and has a faceless body. Is it a ghost captured on camera, or might it really be an alien hiding from humans? While many people accept the visuals that have been supplied, some people reject the hypothesis and contest the veracity of the film, arguing that it might actually be a human being walking strangely. So, whose side are you on? Let me know. Lion attack. In 2018, a strange-looking creature was discovered in a tiny Russian village. The farmer was walking home from a busy day when he noticed this freaky head emerging from the ground. He was captured on camera in a cornfield. He discovered the entire thing after going a little further, and it was much stranger than before. It resembled an undiscovered prehistoric species that had been discovered buried, thanks to its strange eyes and even stranger torso. And despite the fact that the scientists examined it right away, nothing has come to light. This gave it an even more ominous appearance. Rake caught in dark. The man who lived close to the woods decided to investigate after hearing unusual noises emanating from somewhere deep within the forest. Following his friend, they spent nearly an hour searching the dense forests without finding anything. They made the decision to go back. However, they began to hear the grunting sound once more as they were returning. And as soon as they turned their cameras to the other side, they saw a frightening thing that resembled an alien sitting next to a tree. When the cryptid realized it had been captured, it turned to face the boys and glared at them with its terrifying glowing eyes. They were eventually forced to flee back to their house. Spooked deer. Captured in North Carolina, a deer could be seen grazing on the ground. However, it stops abruptly there and looks about as though something has startled it. Not seeing anything, just as the deer keeps on, it notices something once again, and a bit larger this time around. Just take a peek at how it frightfully dashes to the other side and turns back. What then might it be? Something like a demon? An untamed animal? However, why wasn't it captured by the camera if it was an animal? So, what was it actually? Bipedal deer. A woman was taken aback to witness the peculiar behavior of a herd of deer that had wandered up to her house as she was filming them. Everything was going along normally until all of a sudden there was a wave of unease among the herd, and some of them fled, leaving the others behind, until one of them chose to rear up on its back legs in order to display the object's hidden power. Frightening the women and the other deer, none of them had ever witnessed this action in such a way. When people began referring to it as a shape-shifting alien, researchers discovered nothing remarkable. Surprisingly though, deer frequently use this tactic to scare and subdue their opponents. Ghost on tree. The hazy apparition with glowing eyes was photographed in Brazil and gave the onlookers a spooky feeling. A humanoid entity perched atop the tree appears a little perplexed as people point at it. However, because it resembles an extraterrestrial, the fact that it was just as afraid of the humans as they were of it raises suspicions. It is challenging to understand what these individuals are genuinely attempting to accomplish, because they are communicating in a foreign tongue. It's evident that despite their fear of its peculiar appearance, they are attempting to somehow capture it. However, it vanished abruptly out of nowhere, leaving the onlookers in disbelief, since they were unable to determine what it was. Tired moose. Animals seem to have a habit of becoming caught in the most unlikely locations. This time, a moose became lodged in a tire swing. A man was astonished to see the moose outside the house during the day because it was severely trapped. And then, at first, attempting to save it with a large stick. The moose was already scared, so it proved to be of little assistance. In order to try to save the tree by sitting on the stop, the man had to climb the tree. Even so, it was not simple. For once, though, it worked. And then watch the moose return without hindrance. And here's another moose who was spotted crossing the road, trapped in a mesh tree swing. Sasquatch shadow. It appears here for a split second before disappearing. What may this flashing object be that was captured on camera? Many people thought the animal captured on camera was a mountain lion or possibly a bear, but when the footage was shown to the investigators, they discovered that the animal was actually a baby Sasquatch. This is due to the animal's incredible speed and the plausible head that appears on the camera, indicating that it's a bipedal animal. A second identical creature was seen on video, most likely excavating on the forest's ground. It appears to have limbs and legs similar to the rumored Bigfoot. So, is that video footage of a Bigfoot? Or do you have a better explanation? Tell me, please. Biped wolf. Driving close to a forest after midnight, the motorist had to apply the brakes right away after seeing something strange. No, it wasn't a Yeti, but rather a wolf ambling on its hind legs. He was already terrified of the stories of the Bigfoot. But hold on a second. Is that a wolf, really? Its slender limbs, peculiar feet, and hardly noticeable ears don't really give it a dog-like appearance. However, it does possess the wolf's fuzzy-like skin. Is that a wolf or some other kind of animal? Tell me what you think of the odd wolf photo. Intruder alert. When the camera was recording the bald eagle's nest, something unsettling happened. Initially, the mother eagle is observed tending to the eggs and then taking a brief flight away from the nest. Upon her return, another eagle joins the nest. Even though the female recognizes the predator's plan, she waits for the initial move while sitting on the eggs. However, it continues to vocally warn the eagle. Not one to go away empty-handed, the male eagle steps forward a little. he was going to charge the one who was seated when she sprung directly in front of him, knocking him from the tree. She then checks the area to make sure her eggs are secure. Coyote and deer. There was a wounded deer visible in front of the trail camera. Two tiny but ferociously hungry coyotes are standing behind it, waiting for the buck to faint so they can get to the meat. Even though the buck is awake, it appears as though it has given up on life because it does not defend itself from the coyotes that are getting closer. However, the coyotes don't always come out on top in the end, just like this. The mother deer appears to be in front of the camera, gathers her two fawns, and leaves the woodland after realizing that a brush wolf has been pursuing her young. And then, a little while later, the mother deer was spotted once more, sprinting after the coyote and narrowly missing it by a few inches. She was later observed circling around a bushy tree in an attempt to capture the fleeing coyote. She was unable to do so, but she managed to save her young from the predators. Hyena chases wildebeest. The coyote surprised the people by capturing the herd of wildebeest during the safari that came rushing towards them. One of them is visible breaking away from the herd, even though the others adhered to the directive to stick to the herd. And seizing the opportunity, the predator began pursuing it, even though it had moved a short distance and the coyote was still having difficulty catching up with it. After a while of running and chasing each other, they were both observed once more, but this time the wild beast was seen fighting the predator. But after growing weary of the chase, the beast eventually met his demise.